All right, Michigan hockey fans, thank you for tuning in to WCBN FM 88.3 Ann Arbor for the Michigan State hockey broadcast here today at the Yost Ice Arena. I'm Ian Lemersall, joined by Alex Shee. We got a great rivalry game today. Michigan, the current leader in the total rival series against Michigan State. Home field advantage has been, kind of a big deal for both of these teams in this rivalry, though not for Michigan as much this year. Again, I'm being joined by Alex Shee. Alex, looking at this rivalry matchup ahead tonight, what are your thoughts, and what are going to be the keys to the game if Michigan State wants to come upset Michigan?
Well, Ian, this is going to be a great game. You can just feel the excitement building here in Yost already. A rivalry game, so expect for things to get a little bit chippy for Michigan here against the Spartans.
Yeah,
this is a bit of an overused cliche here, but we don't like them, and they don't like us. That's the mentality for both teams tonight. It's going to be a hard-nosed, heavy-hitting college hockey game. But in order for the Michigan Wolverines to come away with this one, they're going to need to clean up their defensive game and minimize mistakes. Against their other big rival, the Ohio State Buckeyes, a couple weekends ago here at Yost, Michigan did not play well in their own zone. They made a lot of bad defensive turnovers, and that led to some opportunistic Buckeye goals, which ended up putting the Wolverines away.
Absolutely. Michigan, known for their, obviously Yost is an incredible, beautiful arena, very historic, very beloved. The children of Yost, the student section here, one of the best in the country. I mean, they were here, an hour and a half before we even were. I mean, they practically live here. But after that Ohio State series with 2-3 and 1-5 losses, that makes the Wolverines 4-3-1 at home this season. It hasn't exactly looked great in terms of home field advantage. They're 2-3 away though, so it is better than their away record. But if the Wolverines are to win tonight, I completely agree. Mistakes cannot be, a theme for this Michigan team, because Michigan State's going to capitalize on those, especially in, a chippy game like you said, in a rivalry game like you said. 5 goals given up at home for the Wolverines against Ohio State. That can't happen here tonight. I think Michigan has to allow, 1, 2, 3, maybe even 0 goals tonight if they want to come away with this game. Michigan State hasn't had their best season so far, but they're always in the hunt. They're always, always full of talent everywhere. I mean, is there anything that you think Michigan State, is there a particular area of this game where you think Michigan State has the advantage over the Wolverines tonight?
Well, I think for the Spartans to win here tonight, they're going to need to rely on a good forecheck. Again, Wolverines have been making a lot of mistakes in their own zone, especially their defensemen. Yeah. And if Spartans can put on a really heavy forecheck, force the hand of Michigan, if Michigan makes any mistakes in their own zone, the Spartans have to feast on them. Be aggressive in the forecheck. Chase the puck. And if they can do that, it's going to make life a whole lot easier for Michigan State, because I'm not so sure how much I trust the Wolverines in their own zone right now, to be quite honest.
I agree. Left wing tonight, we're looking at Taro Hirose for Michigan State. At center, Patrick Kodorenko and Mitchell Lewandowski at that right wing position. Mitchell Lewandowski in his first ever season with 9 goals and 9 assists already in just 16 games played. He's been phenomenal this year. Kodorenko, 4 goals, 9 assists in his 16 games played. And for Taro Hirose, 6 goals, 12 assists, and in his career, 12 goals and 30 assists. He has had, a pretty extensive career here. That's 50 games played for him and 51 for Kodorenko, as opposed to Lewandowski, who's only, played this season so far in his career. But other than him, you have a lot of experience at the front of this Michigan State line. And again, it hasn't been the best season for Michigan State. 7-8-1 and 1-6 in the Big Ten so far. But they have an opportunity to turn around tonight against a Michigan team that's received votes for the college hockey rankings. But of course, it was that Ohio State series that took Michigan out of the rankings right when they finally cracked that top 20.
Yeah, there's nothing to put a team down more or give them an even bigger boost to get back on track than a rivalry game.
Absolutely.
2 weekends ago, we saw something happen to Michigan where they lost both games, and they're probably feeling pretty down on themselves. But nothing better than a rivalry against Michigan State. the little brother to Michigan, the David to Michigan's Goliath. No matter if you think Ohio State's a bigger rival or MSU's a bigger rival, it's going to feel pretty darn good to beat Michigan State, especially in your own house in front of your own fans, especially in a pivotal game like to really prove your mettle. When Michigan has had some good wins, they beat Wisconsin, they beat Minnesota, both highly ranked teams, but then they got swept at home against Ohio State. Can Michigan prove themselves against a tough opponent in Michigan State, a big rival, and do what they need to do to win games in big situations?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like you said. This is a very big game for Michigan in the sense that, they lost at home to Ohio State, who that hurts for many reasons. 2 games at home is losing 2 in a row is not nice. 2 at home, even worse, and 2 at home to a rival who is seen as an inferior team. Now, I mean, that's just about as bad as it gets. But this is a great opportunity because Michigan has fallen on kind of a tough streak lately. They're out of the rankings. They're 6-6 right now overall. But like you said, you can throw all that out for tonight because what matters tonight is that it's a rivalry game against their biggest rival, Michigan State. And I think, it's a lot like you said. Look, I mean, Michigan State is the little brother. We know this, but they haven't really shown it in sports lately. Basketball, football. It's been really tough for Michigan these last couple years in these big rivalry games. When you look at Ohio State in basketball, hockey, and football, Michigan 0 for their last 3 against Ohio State, 0 for their last football, 0 for 2 against Ohio State in basketball, and 0 for 2 now in their last 2 against Ohio State hockey. That rivalry has been entirely lopsided. Basketball was a split last year. Football, a split in the last 2, and hockey so far, we'll learn these next 2 days who's going to take this series, but this has been a much more even rivalry than those Ohio State rivalries, and, again, for those reasons, Michigan really needs to strike first and take over tonight as soon as they can and keep this rivalry in check because, I think fans are sick and tired of losing these big rivalry games. It's been extremely difficult for fans of really all the sports to be watching Michigan play, such tough, brutal games against the rivals like Ohio State, like Michigan State in a lot of different sports. I know football against both teams was tough this year. Michigan just lost to Ohio State basketball a few days ago after being up by 20 points at one point. Michigan fans just want to see some rivalry wins and some big game wins, and tonight's a great opportunity to do just that.
Yeah, and Ian, you can feel it coming in the air tonight here at Yost Arena. The Children of Yost section is already completely full.
Yeah, there's no more spots there.
Yeah, they are dedicated fans. They usually get here early, but not always this early.
No,
walking around campus, there's been some buzz about this game. The Michigan fans want something to cheer for. This is a great way to do it. With all the stress coming from classes, from finals,
man.
Some of the stress from recent football games and basketball games, they just want to come here, see a physical, exciting hockey game, and see a Michigan win. And again, right now the record does not matter for either teams. For Michigan State,
all
you want to do is beat Michigan.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how many games you won, how many games you lost. Come here, you have a chance to beat your biggest rival. For Michigan, you want to get yourself going. Who cares how bad the last couple games have been? Who cares if you got swept by Ohio State? You have a chance to redeem yourselves in front of a good crowd here at Yost, in front of your own students, your own classmates, get the place rocking and beat a rival.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at it like this. Football, this past season, losses to Michigan State, Ohio State, Wisconsin, Penn State, basically all the big rivals, of course, especially Michigan State and Ohio State. It was just brutal. You look at basketball so far, not the best start for the Wolverines with that loss to Ohio State. That was just did you watch that game, Alex?
It was kind of one of those games where you saw it coming from a mile away. The Wolverines just came out of that halftime absolutely flat.
It was. And it was funny because they went, Ohio State was down 20, and then going into half, they went on a 7-0 run. In about 59 seconds, they scored 7 points. At that point, it was trouble for the Wolverines. Luckily, halftime stopped them from getting a further run. But then they came out of halftime, did the exact same thing. They just kept it going. I think the final was there was a 22-2 run for Ohio State basketball. Michigan could not make a shot. Ohio State was sinking everything. And, of course, around campus, like you said, finals. exams, all kinds of stuff going on. Man, I had an organic chemistry exam a couple days ago, and that's 10 days before the final, you know? Like, it's been brutal lately, but guess what? The student section's already full. All these guys, they practically camped out here overnight so that they could get their spots at the front of the section. They've been practicing their chants for 2 hours now, and I think everyone's just ready to forget everything, leave it all behind, and enjoy this game here tonight. It would be really brutal to not see Michigan come out on top. They have been the better hockey team this season. They're at home. They're a hungrier team, in my opinion. At 6-6, you always want to beat your rival. You always want to get, above 500, of course, and you always want to win those home games, especially in conference. It looks like a good situation for the Wolverines tonight, but like you said, you could throw everything else out to the side because it is a rivalry game. And, Michigan State, obviously a tough team, and they always bring it against Michigan. Like you said, expect a physical game tonight. Expect a physical game. Expect both teams to get very chippy. Earlier this season, I believe it was the Ferris State game where Michigan and Ferris State both got extremely chippy about halfway through the game. Expect that even sooner tonight. I'm really excited to see, how both teams react to getting punched in the face, literally and figuratively here, but, quite possibly literally. We'll see.
Well, I hope the players are excited too, just as much as I am, just as much as you am. This is a huge game, and that Ohio State basketball game was a great example for Wolverines tonight of exactly what not to do. This is your house. Michigan is on a bit of a slide. They need to show that that's not us. We're a better team than what we've been playing lately, than what we've been showing you. This is our house. This is our rival. Right from the opening puck drop, they need to establish their dominance and assert themselves physically with their speed and with their skill and show that we're going to dictate this game. This is our house. You're the younger brother. We're Michigan. No team has won more national championships in collegiate hockey than Michigan. We have the best arena, one of the best arenas in all of college hockey. And you can't beat the maize and blue, can't beat this rivalry, can't beat the atmosphere. They need to show what they're all about right from the beginning. And just a little stat for you. So far this season, Michigan has been outscored 13-12 by its opponents in the first period. They're going to need to turn that around. Michigan in the second period has been outscored by their opponents 18-14. And their only positive period so far has been the third. Michigan outscoring their opponents 22-15. So Michigan has not been, so far, has tended to not play as well at the beginning of the game. That's got to change tonight. They've got to reverse the script, reverse the last couple of games, and from the beginning, attack this game with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. The fan base is going to respond. The student section is going to respond. And I think the rest of the players are going to respond as well. So it starts from the top down, from that Run DMC line, the seniors of Danks, Marodi, and Calderon, right down to the very bottom line. Everyone's got to be at full throttle tonight for Michigan.
Yeah, and just building off what you were saying, it's like, Michigan has been punched in the mouth a lot in the first period of their hockey game so far this season, outscored 13-12. I was here for the Minnesota game where Michigan got down. I believe at one point it was 4-1 and came back to win that game 5-4. I'm going through it here. It was like Minnesota. Yeah, that was a 3-0, a 3-0 game. Like you said, Michigan has been a team of slow starts this season. That game was one of my favorites this season, where Michigan did get down 3-0, and then eventually 4-3 after they had made their comeback and tied it at 3-all. They never got down on themselves and ended up winning in overtime by a goal that hit off the face mask of Alex Roos and went right in. That was a pretty incredible game to see. Probably the most incredible Michigan sporting event I've seen so far this season. Of course, we're early on in basketball, still fairly early in hockey, and plenty of other sports left to be played. I think, going back to kind of what we were talking about with these rivalries, I think a lot of fans are very upset at Michigan right now, and particularly with the football team, at their inability to beat rivals. Well, Michigan hockey has been very much different and very much, much improved in the department of beating their rivals when compared to the basketball and the football teams. Basketball, I'll give them tremendous credit. They beat a highly ranked Michigan State team last year by almost 30 points. That was incredible. That was awesome. Good for them. This year we'll see if they can reproduce that. They're already 0-1 against rivals in basketball. And then of course football,
the rivalries have been an issue the last couple of years. Everyone complaining about, the lack of rivalry wins. 1-2 in the last 3 against Michigan State, 0-3 in the last 3 against Ohio State, just off the top of the memory there. And, a lot of people are upset about that, but this is a completely different sport. This is hockey. This is something where Michigan is far more dominant. And, I think this is a good way to get the hockey team back on track, and just Michigan sports fans in general, I think, would just be so excited to see a victory tonight. Because, it feels – and this isn't the reality of it. It's not like it's not like Michigan doesn't win their big rivalry games in all sports. But I think a lot of the Michigan fans feel that way after how rivalry games in football, our main sport, have gone lately. It just hasn't been too enjoyable. So I think more so than just the hockey team and the hockey fan base, I think this game tonight's pretty big for the Michigan sports fan base as a whole. And it'd be really good energy if we can win tonight, if we can win tomorrow, and get a big lead on this hockey rivalry. And I think that could energize the Michigan fan base for not just hockey but for all sports. I think that'd be really interesting to see.
And you said the Michigan fan base just wants to have fun again. I think the players need to do that too. The Michigan players, when they're at their best, they're playing a fun brand of hockey. They're flying around the ice. That first line of Danks, Marody, and Calderon is being really creative and skilled. That second line with Will Lockwood is having him fly around the ice. They need to start having fun again, open up, loosen up, at the same time still maintain organization and strength in the back end of their defense, but still open up a little bit, fly all over the place, attack. And Michigan needs to do that from the get-go, right from the get-go of this game.
Absolutely.
And I want to go back a little bit to, you mentioned that Minnesota overtime win for the Wolverines, that third period where they erased a 3-goal deficit twice in order to win the game. I think that was by far the best period of hockey this Michigan team has played all season. And I think the reason why is because they went 4 deep in that period. All 4 lines, they didn't just rely on the run DMC line at the top. All 4 lines possessed the puck, got opportunities, and continued to attack and play well. We haven't seen that on a lot of the games this season for Michigan. And there was about a 4-minute period within that third period where the Wolverines had possession the entire time. That's what you want to see from Michigan. Puck possession is so important for an attacking team like Michigan, the way this team is set up. And if the fourth and third line can continue to pick up the pace where the first and second line leave off for Michigan, good things are going to happen. And it appears that Coach Pearson is trying to shake things up in the third and fourth lines for Michigan tonight. The third line for Michigan, a big move, moving Jake Slaker, the sophomore from San Diego, one of the top point getters for Michigan, moved down to the third line, centered by Adam Winborg, and he's going to join the freshman Jack Becker on that third line. And a totally revamped fourth line, Nick Pastujov centering Alex Ruse, along with Pastujov's younger brother, Michael Pastujov. This is only his second game this year.
Yeah, I could have sworn I saw a second Pastujov jersey tonight. And Nick, number 91, playing that center line. He was a player I've noticed a lot throughout this season. His brother just starting out for the Michigan Wolverines. Like you said, this is his second game. And I was almost caught off guard to see him out there. It was interesting to see. But and as you're saying, yeah, the run DMC line's been the bread and butter for this team. Dexter Danks, Cooper Rody, Tony Calderon up front. Will Lockwood has been great all season, as has Brendan Warren and Josh Norris. And then on defense, of course, Joseph Ciccone, Quinn Hughes, a couple guys who have just absolutely stood out to me throughout, this entire season, watching them play so far. But is there? I guess while we're talking about the Michigan hockey lineup right now, is there a weakness on this lineup? You've watched a lot of hockey. I've watched a lot of hockey. We've been calling these games. I personally haven't seen one, but is there a weakness that you think exists that possibly Michigan State can exploit today?
Oh, well, definitely. Again, I've said at the beginning of this broadcast, I'll say it again, organization and playing well in their own zone. Michigan has been very sloppy in their own zone. Last game, Nick Boca, I believe it was, Ciccone, both made some pretty, not the greatest passes in the world in their own zone. For Michigan's game, it's so important to start transitioning the puck out of your own zone and getting it quickly with speed into the attacking zone for Michigan. They really need to focus on their breakouts and make really good passes, and so far they haven't done that enough. I mean, you had some they try to get a little bit too cute in their own zone. Some short little passes, try and get up the middle. They just need to play it safe, play it smart, and find the open man, keep your head up, and get a good pass and transition into that attacking mode. Someone who's done that exceptionally well so far for the Michigan Wolverines is Quinn Hughes, number 43.
Agreed.
He's a freshman. He's one of their best offensive players so far, and he's a defenseman. He is second on the team with 10 assists. And a little fun fact for you, he is the youngest player in all of D1 men's collegiate hockey.
I did not know that. I actually did not know that.
He's not playing like that. He's playing like a grizzled veteran so far.
No, as I said before, he's been one of the guys I've noticed the most throughout this entire season. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know he was the youngest player out there. I mean, that's amazing to me. He's been such a force on defense and, like you said, on offense as well. He's been so solid throughout the season. And yeah, I agree. There's not a huge personnel weakness on this team. I think that's for certain. Will Lockwood, one of my personal favorite players on this team, someone I think is worth looking out for as well. And just looking ahead at the entire Big Ten Conference right now, the state of the conference, as this is a Big Ten game tonight as well as a rivalry game. Within the top 20, Notre Dame at number 4 overall, Minnesota at 7, Wisconsin at 12, Ohio State at 15, and Penn State at 18. That is an awful lot of Big Ten teams represented in the top 20. 1/4 of the current top 20 is Big Ten hockey teams. It's been a brutal conference to play in, and that's why we still get rankings votes despite being 6-6-1, is because people respect the difficulty of playing in the Big Ten Conference, because not only are the rivalries so strong as are the rivalries in these last couple series between Michigan State and Ohio State, but obviously both teams have, all teams in the Big Ten have tremendous amounts of talent, tremendous players, personnel, coaches, everything, arenas, all the resources, everything. And it shows when you look at the rankings and you see one conference taking up 25% of those ranking spots, along with Michigan, of course, getting votes for, the rankings lists, and, some newcomers to these rankings, Omaha getting votes, as well as Canisius and Colorado College. And then, obviously, there's the big dogs at the top, per usual, University of Denver, St. Cloud State, Clarkson up there. It's not a surprise to see Minnesota up there. It's not a surprise to see Wisconsin up there. Notre Dame, as good as they typically are, up at number 4. Are you surprised at all by how good Notre Dame's been? And what do you think of those matchups we're going to have with Notre Dame this season? I mean, we are playing, against Notre Dame at home and away in a span of 2 days. It'll be very interesting to see. I think we might be traveling to cover that game as well, just a programming alert. But what do you think of that Notre Dame matchup and of the fact that they decided to split up the series in a way where the first series is a home at Michigan, a home at Notre Dame, and the second series is a home at Michigan, home at Notre Dame, rather than doing the homes, consecutively?
Well, I'll just say this, setting this MSU game aside, Michigan-Notre Dame rivalry is back.
It's back.
Again, a big home and home, 2 home and homes. Notre Dame is one of the best teams. I mean, they made the Frozen Four last year. They could very well do it again. One of the most talented teams out there.
Absolutely, and the football rivalry is back too.
Yeah.
Game time was just announced today for that start of the season game next season, 7:30 for that kickoff. But anyways, back to what you were saying.
Well, I can't wait for that game here at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see them in South Bend. But as much as I'm excited for that, I cannot wait for 7 minutes and 30 seconds to pass, because in that time it's going to be Michigan versus Michigan State here at Yost Arena. It does not get much better than this. Puck dropping soon, and prediction time, I think Michigan's going to come out with a win. If we see them come out fierce at the beginning of the game, if we see them attack, if we see them skate and fly around all over the ice and assert their dominance, it's going to be a good game for Michigan, and they're the better team. So I really think they're going to win this game. Never count out the Spartans, especially in a rivalry game against the Wolverines. But Michigan has something to prove, and I think this is a team. We've seen their mettle coming back from 3 goals down against Minnesota not too long ago. playing well on the road against Wisconsin. This is a team with some mettle, and they are going to come out, and I think they're going to play just fine.
I agree, and I think I also have Michigan as my prediction to win tonight. Expect the first team to lay out the first big hit and the first team to score to possibly get this win tonight. Michigan and Michigan State, both teams skating around. We are ready to go.
All right, and welcome to the broadcast of the game here tonight at Yost Arena. It is the Michigan Wolverines facing off against the rivals from East Lansing, the Michigan State Spartans. The Wolverines come in at 6-6-2. That's 4-2-1 in the Big Ten. And their opposition, the Spartans, come in at 6-1-1 in the Big Ten. So a little bit better, but 7-8-1 overall. So as we look to our matchup here tonight, Alex, is there anything that you see specifically that the Wolverines have an advantage of over the Spartans here?
Well, I would say that they're a much better scoring team than Michigan State is. You look at the numbers, Michigan is one of the highest scoring teams in the Big Ten, number 2, scoring almost 3.5 goals per game. Michigan State, meanwhile, last in the Big Ten in goals scored. So that's an advantage, but Michigan has to play clean because Michigan State protects their net very well. Michigan allowing the most goals of any team in the Big Ten. So that needs to change for Michigan. They need to play a cleaner brand of hockey. They lost 2 pretty sloppy and not well-played games against Ohio State here, the last games they played. They took an exhibition matchup against the U.S. National Development Team last week, so it was effectively a bye. But now they're back in Big Ten play for the final 2 games before the Christmas break, and then they'll be back for the GLI after that as we get ready for the starting lineups to be announced. Michigan State is starting their high-scoring top line, which accounts for most of their offense. And in fact, at the wing positions, Taro Hirose and Mitchell Lewandowski, both 18 points on the season, which they are tied for 6th highest scoring players in the Big Ten. These 2 teams bring in 3 of the top 6 highest scoring players. So there is some individual star action, and there's quite a bit of homegrown talent. Michigan State starting 14 players from the state of Michigan on their roster. Michigan with 7. So you figure tensions will be high in this matchup. There were tensions high between Michigan and Ohio State, and of course these 2 teams rivals. Do you think we're going to see some pushing and shoving tonight?
I think that's definitely a possibility, Alex. But I think specifically, as you'd mentioned, a big part of this game is going to be goaltending. The Spartans goaltender has started every game so far for them. But the Wolverines have had some inconsistency in net, and they've been unable to find a dominating presence, which has kind of faltered some of their ranked hopes throughout the season. And as we look at the starting lineups for the Wolverines, the first defensive pair is announced. It looks like Joe Ciccone and Sam Piazza will round out the defensive first line. And the DMC line, as we've talked so much about throughout the course of the season, Dexter Danks, Cooper Marody, and Tony Calderon round out Michigan's top forward line there.
And they're a good forward line, too. A lot of scoring this season. Marody at 21 points is the 3rd highest scoring player in the Big Ten. Calderon, the leading goal scorer on the Michigan team with 10 goals. So these teams are going to bring some offense and bring some high intensity, and these are 2 teams that really need the points when you look at the Big Ten standings. Number 6 is Michigan, number 7 Michigan State. They are 2 of the dead last teams. And now we are going to take a quick pause for the national anthem. And now we are ready to go. Under a minute till puck drop here on WCBN 88.3 FM Ann Arbor. Getting ready for the Michigan Wolverines taking on the Michigan State Spartans. The players now are just doing one last circle around their respective ends before they will head to the bench, and the starters will come out for the game. Here between these two teams, a rivalry matchup. Not the only time these two teams will see each other. They'll play in East Lansing tomorrow night, and then they will compete in the Great Lakes Invitational down in Detroit, and then they will play again in Detroit in the Duel in the D in February. So this is just the start of a matchup, and interesting between these two teams, two new coaches this year. Mel Pearson is new for Michigan, relieving longtime head coach Red Berenson, whereas Danton Cole, an alumni of Michigan State class of 1989, is now behind the bench for the Spartans. And now just about 5 seconds to go. What's the key for Michigan tonight, Pete?
Well, I think it's kind of something that you had mentioned earlier. I think it's the goaltending. I think they need a goalie, maybe not to win them the game, but to at least keep them in it. I think the goalies have been kind of lackluster so far. I mean, as far as what the coaching staff has looked for, I'm sure Mel Pearson probably expected a little bit more out of his goaltenders, but I think they're really going to need a nice goaltending performance tonight by Hayden Levine to keep them in it.
I would agree with that, and we are underway. Marodi wins the draw against Kodorenko out there, and we have a quick icing. 7 seconds into it, the Wolverines ice it, so the faceoff will come down into their own end. The chant starting up in the student section. It's a late arriving crowd here tonight. We still got quite a few gaps in the seats, so we'll see if more people do indeed file in as we get ready for the face-off. Kodorenko against Marodi, and the draw is won by the Spartans. A quick shot by Lewandowski was blocked by Danks. Now it comes out into the neutral zone as the Spartans hold it, wearing their away green jerseys with the white trim. Michigan wearing their traditional home whites as they go to work on defense. Down in his own corner to get it is Joe Ciccone. He sends it around the boards, but unable to completely clear it before it now gets taken out the other way by Piazza. Gives it up to Calderon Marodi, and now into the offensive zone. A nice pinch there along the boards by the Spartans, and Ciccone has it. He'll just fire a shot high and rising over top the net before it's taken by the Spartans the other way. And a big hit laid there by Will Lockwood it was, who delivered it on the Spartans. And now the puck sent down into the Michigan State end. A handful of guys down there, including Cat along with Saliba. And now picked out from that end by Warren. Out to Hughes at the top of the point. He is able to keep it in, but not for long, as it's quickly taken out by the Spartans. And now coming the other way, an opportunity right in on net. A shot and a great save by Levine. And another try. They still battle away for it. Puck comes free. And the shot is blocked there by Norris. So a couple big opportunities and some block shots, and a great save there by Levine is able to keep this game tied at 0, just about 90 seconds into the action. Spartans playing well, though, as they now bring it into the offensive zone. A good hit laid there by Griffin Luce on Kamer before the puck now comes free to Sanford. He gets lightly tapped by Boca, who forces him to just kind of clear it along the boards where it goes into the corner. Slaker and Winborg are after it. Now Boca trying to get it free, but two Spartans are hassling him, so over comes Winborg to assist, and now free comes Slaker. Slaker normally plays on the second line, but he's dropped down to take the third line of action as they've kind of shuffled it up a little bit. Warren moves up, Slaker moves down, and now an odd man rush potentially coming the other way for the Spartans. Bring it into the zone. A centering pass is just a little too far, and that opportunity by the Spartans, nothing comes of it. Milan and Kamer unable to connect on that pass. Spartans have it in their own zone before a rink-wide pass is tapped by Smith into the Michigan zone. Ciccone picks it up after Levine left it for him, and it's just a little too far for the Spartans to intercept, and out come the Wolverines the other way. We've got a pair of Pastuovs out there. The brothers Nick and Michael are playing together for only the second time this season, only the second game all season that Michael has played in. The freshmen, those two from Bradenton, Florida, and now a big hit laid along the boards by the Wolverines on the Spartans as they continue to hold it in the offensive zone, but unable to create many good chances at this current moment. The puck goes down behind the Spartan net before it's picked up and taken the other way by the men in green. Estevez just clears it down into the Michigan zone as both teams will get a change. Piazza backhands it to his own defense mate, and now up the forwards come the other way. Pastuov passes it to his brother. That was Michael to Nick before. Now it's taken the other way by the Spartans, and some early hitting by these both teams as Luke Martin laid a hit on Herosi, and now it looks like we got a penalty upcoming to the Wolverines as Kodorenko was tripped up. I think it'll be coming to Quinn Hughes, but I'm not sure. We'll take a look. It's going to be a tripping call.
I believe you're right, Alex, there, and unfortunate for the Wolverines to put themselves in this position. They've already allowed one great scoring chance when I believe it was Luke Martin who had pinched a little bit too early on the boards there and allowed the Spartans to get a nice on-goal shot. But Levine has looked nice with a few shots that he's saved today.
Well, he has, and they're going to need to come up big here. It is indeed Hughes going to the box. He'll serve 2 minutes, 16:29 to go in period number 1. Kodorenko wins the draw back to Gatt at the left point. He sends it across to his own defense partner, and now they kind of play catch back and forth. Gatt has it right around the Big Ten logo, sends it across to Milan. Back to Gatt, back to Milan. He's at the right point now, creeps in, gives it down low. Kodorenko, great pass across, and a terrific save by Hayden Levine on Herosi.
Excellent save by Levine. He definitely seems locked in tonight. I'm sure the Wolverines are very excited to have looks like a strong goaltender in net tonight.
Absolutely. That was a great one-time and a great setup. Kodorenko to Herosi, but he slides across looking agile and quick, and the Wolverines are going to need that. Kodorenko to take the draw against Norris, and battled for as both players go to the ice trying to dig at it, but it is the Spartans who end up taking it. Before it is now picked away by Kodorenko, keeps it into his own zone, and now he just kind of goes right in on net. Shot is saved by Levine. Now back to the point as they pass it around. Gatt across, and now a stick got in the lane by Norris, trying to cut off those passing lanes, but Michigan still unable to clear before now they finally do. Warren takes it away and clears it on down. Spartans will get a change, as will the Wolverines, getting a pair of fresh legs out there. The second power play unit now on the ice for Michigan State as they have just about a minute to go in the tripping minor to Quinn Hughes. It's along the boards now, and Michigan's going to clear it out again. They're going to send Slaker, the speedy forward, on the forecheck, but he's unable to try and take that puck away from John Leatherman, who is in net tonight for the Spartans. Hasn't been asked to do much as Michigan still does not have a shot. 4-4 the Spartans. Kiefer has it along the boards. Now he sends it back out to the point. Rosberg across, now back to him. He looks and waits, pass down low, and a shot by Smith. Nice save by Levine. Now goes back out to the point to Rosberg. Forechecking is Wimborg, unable to take it from him, and now a pass across, and a little backdoor tip-in opportunity for Smith was denied, but the Spartans just relentless on the attack. They're up to 5 shots now. Ooh, and a pass for Lockwood on a potential breakaway opportunity, just a little too far for him, but he's going to go in on a heavy forecheck and allow his team to get new penalty killers out there as we have about 5 seconds to go, and a great job by Lockwood. He continues to harass Jared Rosberg there in the Spartan end in 1 second. 0. Out of the box comes Quinn Hughes, and now it's like we got a glove came off Luke Martin, but both teams were in the process of the change, so nothing comes of that. Boca across to Martin, who's looking to get off, and he sends it off the boards. Now laid to Danks, but Danks just unable to have it. Michigan's offense looks a bit out of sync at this current moment. Pass intercepted by Danks at the neutral zone, and now just a little too far for Marodi, who he was looking for, and now we will have an icing coming all the way back down the Michigan zone. 14:02 to go, and it's hard to look at this and think that anything other than the Spartans have dominated so far, eh, Pete?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Alex. Just the Wolverines haven't been able to get anything going on the offensive end. They're just unable to get a real strong possession in there, and the Spartans have really dominated in their own offensive zone.
They really have, and now Gatt across to Herosi, down low to Lewandowski, and he tries to just pull a little move and a deke past the Michigan defense, but was unable to do so. And now the puck comes free, a tad by Danks, and now in the slot is Calderon. His shot is blocked, taken away by Lewandowski, who gets shoved to the ice down by Danks, and Marodi both there battling for it. And now the puck taken away by Hughes. He passes it across to Boca, and all the way back into the Michigan State zone. Both teams get changes, and we continue to see some heavy and firm hitting going on between these two teams. Chip in by Griffin Luce as both teams just not really setting much up in the last minute. A lot of play in the neutral zone or broken offensive opportunities before now a chance for the Spartans. Smith sends it along the boards. Too far for Kodorinko, but now it gets intercepted right there in front, but a big hit laid by Boca to knock Stevens off his skates and stop the opportunity right there. Michigan now officially does have a shot. They credited one on that last offensive opportunity. Boca plays it along the boards looking for Alex Ruse, who just chips at it off the boards. Osborne has it, and he's going to backtrack all the way back down where he looks for his defense mate but unable to connect with him. Luce has it, passes up to Nick Pastuoff, who plays it along the boards. Both teams getting changes. Not a whole lot of constructive offensive opportunities coming in this current moment. Spartan stretch pass, the smart tip into the offensive zone by Michigan State. Lambden sends it back across. He's got Kiefer along with him, and now two guys go down. It looks like a delayed penalty coming to Michigan State, so the Spartans will go to the penalty kill, and Michigan will have an opportunity to try to turn the tide and get some momentum in their favor as they will be coming to the power play. Going out into the box is Sam Saliba. He will be going off. I think it's tripping.
I think you're right, Alex, and I think the Wolverines really need this to be a shot in the arm for them. They've looked pretty dull offensively, and they haven't been able to create any real chances, any real quality shots on net. They do have the one, but they haven't had any real concrete opportunities like the Spartans have. If the Wolverines are able to take advantage of this power play, kind of get comfortable in the Spartans' end, get some quality shots on net, even if they don't score, I think it's definitely a big plus for the Wolverines.
Absolutely. And we've got a quick stoppage in the action. We have the under 14 TV timeout as both teams go to their bench to get a little bit of a water break, talk to their coaches before they draw up. The units outcoming for Michigan is their second power play unit normally. It's consisting of Lockwood, Slaker, Norris, Ciccone, and Piazza manning the point. 4 men on the penalty kill for Michigan State. And the draw is won by the Spartans. Kodorinko bests Norris in the dot. And a quick clear by Michigan State all the way back down where Hayden Levine will leave it for Piazza as the attackers are about to get set up. A lot of speed on this unit. Lockwood, Slaker, and Norris, all sophomores or freshmen, and they are all quick, but now a pass intercepted by the Spartans and some nice dekes to the middle. Still holding with it is Herosi, but he doesn't look to take a shot. He just plays it off the boards. Ciccone being harassed a bit by Kodorenko on the good forecheck for Michigan State. And out come the Wolverines the other way. Piazza just past center ice, so there is no icing as he chips it into the zone. Norris plays it along the board. Slaker knifes it and taps it across. Piazza to Ciccone, who lays it along the right side for Norris. Ciccone has it back to the left point to Piazza, and his shot. Slaker in front, battling for it. The puck comes free. It's loose, and it goes over the top of the net. It was free, and Norris had a great shot to bury it, but just couldn't put it in. And his centering pass, looking for Lockwood, was blocked. He gets it back, though, and Ciccone can't keep it in at the point. So a good opportunity for the Wolverines, just unable to convert. Norris skates in a bit. Lockwood has it, battles along the corner. Both teams digging at the puck. Cat among them, and now Lockwood cuts to the middle, leaves it behind himself, but no one there to receive it except for a man in a green sweater who takes it away and clears it down the ice. So about 90 seconds killed off this penalty, so Michigan will only have probably about one more rush or extended opportunity, but that was a good first power play surge as now they come the other way. Calderon and Marodi are there, along with Hughes, who keeps it in on the right point, skates towards the center, leaves it behind him for Marodi, and now a shot redirected wide of the net, and the leave behind by Calderon to Hughes is just a little bit too far. So that will kill off the remainder of the power play, but Hughes is skating strong into the zone. Marodi just kind of dangles, and a shot goes wide of the net, and just a tad too far for Calderon to hold it in. He backtracks all the way back down, holds it, and now plays it along the boards. Dexter Danks leaves it between his own legs, and now an opportunity for Michigan State as they have 2 men down there in the zone. It's Herosi, and played out to the point to Ghaffari, whose shot is tipped by Danks and up into the netting. So we will have a face-off coming in the Michigan end and another TV timeout as we are now under 10 minutes to go, 9:48 remaining in period number 1. Michigan 0, Michigan State 0.
Yeah, I think that was a strong power play for the Wolverines, Alex. They were able to generate a quality chance at least. very unfortunate for the Wolverines that Josh Norris is just unable to bury it. For all intents and purposes, it looks like he had a great shot at the net. But during this TV timeout, we are looking at Ian Schroeder, who is our hero of the game here at Yost Arena. A standing round of applause for Ian, who is here enjoying the game and repping the Michigan Wolverines sweater down on the ice.
Always good to see the veteran of the game, and it's turned into a pretty good crowd to cheer him on. It was indeed pretty late arriving because it's now filled in pretty well. The student section, always a colorful assortment of jerseys for those who don't own Michigan apparel. I see at least a Red Wings jersey, a Vancouver Canucks jersey, among the different festive, also Christmas-themed outfits down in that section. All of the students tonight got free cotton candy left on their seats. A kind of nice incentive to come on down for this rivalry matchup as we get ready for action. Milan's going to take the draw against Adam Winborg.
It's always good to have that cotton candy drink.
Always good. Satisfies the sweet tooth. And the draw won by Winborg, and Boca has it as the Wolverines try to bring it out of their own zone, but unable to do so. A nice pinch there by the Spartans to keep it in, and it is now dug out by Boca, and out they come the other way. Bringing it out just past the center line where he sends it into the zone. Sort of a collision there. Boca ran into the referee. As the Wolverines control in the Michigan State zone, it is Winborg down behind, lays it behind for Warren. Warren back, continuing to just try to find an opportunity, look for something coming as Michigan State playing solid defense. They don't give up a lot of goals, and they've looked very stout in their own zone. So it's a matchup of strength on strength, good offense versus good defense. And now a centering shot right out in front. The puck comes free, but it is unable to be put into the net as it was just kind of a tip in. And now we got an opportunity right in on net. A shot by Sanford is quickly pushed away by Levine. Just a high-rising clear from the Michigan State zone landed right on the tape of Sanford, and he had a quick no-look opportunity on Levine, but he stands strong. 6 saves tonight for the Wolverines netminder, keeping this game even at 0-0. Coming out to play it is Lethman, but now taken behind quickly for a split second was Pastuov before Michigan State recovered and prevented any further opportunities. Stevens has it around the point, and a shot through the sort of centering area, unable to find any fellow men to put it in, and now a shot by Piazza just goes wide, and a big rebound, but Pastuov unable to put it in. Now out onto the ice comes Norris as they try to change out onto the second line. Norris will be joined by his line mates at Lockwood before we have a puck that goes up into the netting, I believe, and out of play.
It looks like the Wolverines have been having a lot more quality chances recently as they even up the shot total 6-6. It seems like they've had a lot of success dumping the puck in and getting a quick shot on Lethman. A lot of times he's been unable to really locate that puck, and it's produced a few opportunities for the Wolverines, however, unable to capitalize so far.
And the draw won by the Spartans. Kodorenko wins it back to his defenseman. Martin sends it across to Hughes as the pass was intercepted out in the neutral zone. Lockwood just over skates and has to backtrack, or else he would have been offsides. Michigan State will reset up their attacking unit, but now picked off by Norris in the middle, right inside the Michigan State offensive zone. Leaves it for Hughes, and Hughes just kind of dumps it. Now a wraparound opportunity, just a little short. The puck's still free, and Michigan whacking away at it after a wraparound try was just a tad short. But some good opportunities coming now for the Wolverines. Lewandowski has it, leaves it behind himself for Kodorenko, who then sends it to the point, but they say it was offsides. Ghaffari was just in a tad too early. So the faceoff will come just outside the Michigan defensive zone on the red dot to the left side of the ice, right by the Michigan Medicine logo here at Yost Ice Arena, Red Berenson Rink. The faceoff will be Marody and Sanford. Draw won by Marody in the top line for the Wolverines. Boca plays it to his fellow D-man Luce, who puts it off the boards and allows Michigan to continue to do that dump and chase and use their physicality to try to create takeaways like that right there. And now Michigan will have an opportunity. A quick shot in on that, high and rising, hit the shoulder of the goaltender Lethman, and now we're going to have a clear that will be tapped for icing with 7 minutes square remaining in period number 1.
The Wolverines have the Run DMC line out there. Thanks, Marodi and Calderon. Obviously hoping to generate some kind of offense. Hopefully put one on the board first.
That is what they will be looking to do with this face-off between Marodi and Milan. Some pushing and shoving for the draw, and it's eventually taken by Gat, and who chips it out into the neutral zone before Michigan comes right up and puts it right back in the Spartan zone. And now a hit. Looks like Marodi laid on a Spartan. Tough to see who it was. Looks perhaps like
Tommy Miller, I believe.
Tommy, yeah, that is who it looks like, yep. As both teams get quick changes, waiting on the 6:30 mark. Still 0-0 as these two teams continue to battle a hard-nosed period of hockey. 8-6 shots in favor of the Wolverines, but they're on an 8-1 run since it was 5-1. But now an opportunity by Michigan State, a quick wraparound, unable to put it in, so that will be shot number 7 for Michigan State as they try to turn the tide and get some momentum back in their favor. Lambden leaves it off the boards now for Kiefer, who goes in after it, but just kind of tapped along the boards now for Danks, where it's quickly taken up the other way. Here they come, skating towards the middle, and a shot is blocked by Becker's shot, blocked by the Spartans, and now another clear down the ice. Will be another icing on the Spartans with 5:52 to go here in period number 1.
Well, Alex, it's been a great game so far. Lots of physicality, as we talked about at the beginning of the game. It looks like both teams are really willing to lay it all on the line to win this game.
It's a game that's really crucial in terms of those Big Ten standings for whichever team wants to try to move up in the standings and elevate their position. This year's chase for the Big Ten title. Everyone's looking up at Notre Dame at the current moment. Notre Dame 8-0 in Big Ten play, the first team to ever start 8-0 in a Big Ten season. So we're back with the action. Wolverines have it in their own zone as both teams get a quick change. Becker just kind of tips it with his stick back for the goaltender Lethman, where he leaves it for his defenseman Rosberg, but it was quickly taken away at the neutral zone by Michigan. Martin to Wimborg, lays it back to Hughes. Hughes skates backwards a few feet and gets chased by Stevens and Estevez as the Spartans wait and watch as Michigan will try to get their offensive attack set up. A quick pass by Hughes to Wimborg, right back to him. He cuts in all the way in on net and a shot! And a quick save by Lethman in the glove, and now a look at pushing in front of the net. We'll have a quick face-off upcoming. After a break, we have the under 6 timeout. The last stoppage of the first period of play, 4:56 remaining in period number 1.
Well, the Wolverines have also done well on the special teams tonight, Alex. Obviously unable to score on their power play, but they were able to generate a few nice chances and really stimulate the previously almost dead, I want to say, offense that they had near the beginning of the first period, and they were able to obviously kill the Michigan State power play.
Yeah, it was really that power play that kind of turned the tide because the shots were 5-1 in favor of the Spartans at that point. Since then, it's been 8-2 in favor of the Wolverines as we've got the Eat Street graphic going on here on the Jumbotron, showing fans across the stadium while Michael Jackson's Beat It plays throughout Yost Ice Arena, as both teams now coming from their benches getting ready for the last burst of play as we're under 5 minutes to go here in first period of action. It's going to be the second attack line for Michigan out there. Norris to take the draw. The Spartans switch their alignment of their unit ahead of the face-off, putting their sticks down. Kodorenko and Norris, and the draw won by Norris. Back to Slaker, who kind of pinched up and made sure to keep it into the zone. Now down in the corner is Lockwood, the right corner, where he's fighting 2 Spartans, and a nice takeout by Michigan State to clear it into the neutral zone, but Michigan is right there forming a nice firm wall to keep the pressure on the Spartans, not giving them many opportunities at all. As now an opportunity, Norris digs it out, just a little free now to the point. Boca, who fires it in on net just wide where the stick of Lockwood was. Now the Spartans bring it out the other way. Kodorenko tried to weave his way and cut across the blue line as to not be offsides, but now an opportunity. Norris takes it away. He's got Lockwood, and a good shot right in at the belly of Lethman, and now we've got Rosberg and Norris looking at each other. Norris is one of Michigan's 7 native players. He's from Oxford, Michigan. As now both teams get changes.
It looks like Norris and Rosberg exchanged a few words on the ice there. Obviously, we don't know what they said, but I'm sure some nice friendly competition.
Always good rivalry action, and Michigan is just kind of desperate to beat their rivals in anything at the current moment, just on a bit of a losing streak, an unfortunate loss in basketball the other night. And now the action's back underway. We got a breakaway opportunity for the Spartans, but a great back check by Joe Ciccone to put his stick down and make sure that the Spartans did not have an opportunity to put one in. It was Austin Kamer who had the potential breakaway opportunity, but Ciccone got back, stuck his stick out there, and just got enough of it to deflect it up into the netting, which thus means the faceoff will stay in the Wolverines' defensive zone, where the Spartans will now have an opportunity with 4 minutes even remaining here in period number 1 to try and get the first goal of this game, as the draw won by Pastuov. Back to his brother, now to Alex Roos, all the way up to Nick Pastuov to the center, but he got his pocket picked from behind. A nice defensive play by the Spartans as they remain a really solid defensive team, strong on the fundamentals, not allowing too many goals, not scoring too many goals, but they know what their comfort zone is. Pastuov hands it off to Piazza, who then skates just a couple paces to his left, gives it to his defense partner Ciccone. Then it went up to the forwards, where Michael Pastuov left it for Alex Roos, but it comes all the way back down into the Michigan zone. A Spartan stick got in the way. Both teams will get a change, and skating up with it is Luke Martin. Martin passes it to Marodi, who leaves it into the offensive zone. No one for Michigan there to receive it. Hughes pinches up along the neutral zone boards, takes it away, leaves it back for Martin. Martin, a nice pass to the middle to Danks and Calderon. They come the other way. Calderon just puts it past Gadd as he goes in after it. And Michigan will try to dig it free as they continue this dump and chase physical style of hockey, and just really kind of the method they're trying to use to create opportunities. Luke Martin has it along the right wing boards, but quickly taken away from him. Levine will play it behind his own net and leave it off for his defenseman Hughes. Hughes weaves his way to the middle, cuts between a defenseman, and now Calderon leaves it for him. Just throws it in kind of on net. Hughes is pinching all the way up, and now he's got it free, cutting to the middle, leaves it behind himself for Boca. Not sure that was the smartest play there. Boca didn't have it on the right side of his stick and was unable to really do much with it, but now a puck up in the air comes right down in the middle of the Michigan State offensive zone, and Michigan continues to control, just attacking at the current moment, but unable to get really a solid chance. They've just put the pressure on the Spartans over and over and over again, but now the puck comes free to Lewandowski, who loses it behind for his defenseman. A stretch pass to Kodorenko gets it out of the zone, and now left up for Harrowsey. Going in after it is Griffin Luce, who plays it for Winborg. Had his pass intercepted as it's played along the boards for a quick take now by Brendan Warren. Brendan Warren cuts to the middle, but intercepted from behind by Ghaffari, lifted the stick and took it right away from him. Kodorenko gets pushed down to the ice by Boca, who is manning the blue line and not letting Michigan State have any kind of constructed offensive opportunity. And now falling down to the ice is Ghaffari. Tripped there after it is Warren, but Ghaffari is able to recollect it, and the Spartans, not much going on right there. Lewandowski leaves it behind for Sanford. Sanford pass across the defensive zone, now taken quickly by Jake Slaker. Slaker leaves it behind for Griffin Luce. Luce on his backhand just flips it into the Michigan State zone. Slaker goes in after the goaltender, Lethman, and kind of tries to take it from him. Lethman's clear was then shot in by Michigan as they continue to attack, and now the puck comes free in front of the net for a split second. Lockwood looked like he might have an opportunity, but unable to do so. But Michigan State still, even as Michigan's kind of taking the pressure off a bit to man the neutral zone, still just not able to set anything up. Shots 10-7 in favor of the Wolverines as we have 40 seconds remaining here in period number 1. Gatt plays it along the boards where Ciccone wrestles for it along with Sanford. They go up against each other. Gatt brings it, plays it across to his other defenseman, and now skates just across center ice. And now a nice little pass, just a tad too far for Kiefer, who he was looking for. And now taken away by Michigan, but recollected. Spartans had it and then lost it all the way back down the ice. It was off their own stick, so no icing as they recollect in their own zone. 10 seconds remaining. Rosberg's pass just a tad too far for Kiefer. Hughes battling with it. Lambden brings it in. surrounded by Pastuov and Martin. He has to play it off the boards, and the horn sounds, and our score through 1 period of action, Michigan 0, Michigan State 0. Shots 10-7 in favor of the Wolverines, and we are going to go to our intermission report. We're going to have Ian Lemersall and Alex Shee back on the call for the intermission report. Peter Monahan and I will be back for the second period of action here on WCBN 88.3 FM Ann Arbor. Once again, our score, Michigan 0, Michigan State 0, and we will be back.
All right, Alex, so that wraps up the first period for this Michigan-Michigan State rivalry game. 10 shots for the Wolverines, 7 for the Spartans. Alex, before I get into it, what have you seen so far in this game? And, you know, is there one team that looks particularly better than the other? Because in my personal opinion, it's been pretty much a dead even matchup.
Well, it's been pretty back and forth so far, but Michigan has really asserted themselves physically in this game. I can't tell you how many times I saw a big hit out there, and it almost always was a Michigan hit. Absolutely dropping a Michigan State player on the ice. They've certainly got the crowd into it. They just need to create more opportunities to get more goals. But so far, physically, they've been playing a very good game. A lot of really good hits to separate the opponents from the puck and regain possession. And also good hits just because they, gets the crowd going.
Absolutely.
Dropping some Michigan State players on the ice, and especially a couple big hits near the student section. That'll always fire them up.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like I said before we went to, before we started this game, when me and you were on that intermission there, or not intermission, that pregame there. One of the things I said was that I feel like, and I know you agree, the first team to score and possibly even the first team to lay out that first big hit is going to be the one that probably takes this game. Michigan, like you said, has been dominating in the big hits category so far, really laying it out there, playing a more physical game. Neither team has scored, but there's been a good chances for both teams. I think it is fair to say Michigan does have 3 more shots and a better time of possession than Michigan State, but Michigan State did have the better opportunities and did have more shots near the goal. What do you think of that? Is that a fair assessment? Do you think that it's fair to say that Michigan State, though they had less opportunities, had better opportunities? I mean, we saw them get pretty close to it a couple times.
Yes, and again, that's a factor of some poor defensive zone play by the Michigan Wolverines. You saw Michael Pastuov, freshman, only his second game in his career at U of M, made a couple bad decisions in his own zone, gave a puck up, had a turnover, and that led to a Michigan State player taking it right down the center of his own offensive zone. But it's you want to see a young player like that be more assertive on the game, a little bit less timid. Don't try and make the extra play. Just make a smart play, get it out of the zone, keep your head up. And just an overall trend with Michigan, they haven't been as bad as they have been in some games past, but they still need to be a little bit more cleaner in their own zone, making good, smart passes and getting good breakouts to translate into odd man rushes and to get speed going into the offensive zone. That's a really important thing for this team to be able to do. And so far in the neutral zone, things have been pretty even. Not many odd man rushes for Michigan at all, hardly any. I think there might have been one for Michigan State. So each team not giving up too much, but they're not playing a really, really tight game. And Michigan needs to tighten things up a little bit more defensively, and hopefully that'll lead to some offense for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and what do you think offensively so far for the Wolverines in this performance? What's your assessment? Defensively you've been pretty critical, and I have to agree. Offensively, though, what have you felt about that so far? Like offensively for us, it's, again, 10 shots to their 7, but I think there haven't been many ooh-ah moments where we really thought we had a great chance to score.
Not really. And a lot of the offense did come from the penalties, the power plays for Michigan. But again, I said this at the beginning of the broadcast, and I'm going to say it again. Quinn Hughes, he's creating a lot of opportunities. He's someone that's jumped out at me in almost every game that I've watched this year, and he's doing it again. The young freshman continues to play an attacking, aggressive style of hockey that I really think the rest of the team should take student. I mean, that's what you need to be doing right now. Attack, attack, attack. That's what he's doing. He's playing a fearless game out here in a big rivalry game on a big stage, and he doesn't look like he's worried. He doesn't play like he's timid. He's playing like, I'm going to have the puck, and I'm going to do something with it.
I agree.
I like that a lot.
You know, he's been one of the best players for the Wolverines this season, also one of the most underrated players, probably because he is, you know, primarily a defensive man, and I think that's something that, you know, oftentimes, you know, gets overlooked. It's like a good offensive lineman in football. Not a lot of guys are in the crowd watching and thinking to themselves, wow, he's having a great game. But it is obviously a little different than that. It's a little more obvious to see his impact on this game, you know, especially as the games continue to progress, as the season progresses. I think we've all noticed him for sure. That run DMC front line has not been particularly effective tonight, I must say. You know, although they've all had, you know, some opportunities up front, it hasn't been their most productive nor aggressive night so far, but, you know, that's okay. I think kind of to just recap how that first period went, you know, Michigan State was, you know, early on dominating the time of possession. Michigan, you know, like you said, very, you know, disorganized on defense, a little undisciplined, and Michigan State, you know, took advantage of that. They had some opportunities. They started out with, I believe, 4 shots to 0. They started out with better opportunities and with a great time of possession, and quickly Michigan was able to kind of turn that around and get themselves going. It was interesting to see. There was a power play moment for Michigan State where Michigan State, you know, was in power play, you know, was controlling the puck well. They had, you know, plenty of opportunity there. But I want to say at about that 10-minute mark, about halfway through this match, you know, the first period there, the matchup kind of turned around, and Michigan started dominating time of possession. Michigan started taking the shots and getting the better opportunities. But I agree, very undisciplined on defense, and also I think you can argue there was a little bit of a lack of discipline on offense. I believe it was 3 of the first 4 or 5 shots for Michigan were from extremely far out, just kind of winging it. You know, you want to see them obviously establish a better attack and try and do a little bit more. You know, maybe be a little more patient on offense as well. But as we get ready for the second period, you know, 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go for the second period. Again, for those of you just tuning in, 0-0 Michigan State hockey game. Michigan leading 10 shots to 7. But the game, of course, 0-0, and it's been a back and forth, very even game. You know, a lot of big hits, as we talked about before this game. That was going to be a big factor. There's been a lot of physical play, a lot of aggressive play. No fights have broken out. Nothing's gotten too serious just yet, but a lot of physicality so far, and you can expect that in the second period. And of course, you know, probably mostly in the third as things heat up here, especially because it's looking like it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, it is going to be a tight one. And you'd like to see that the Wolverines be able to open things up. And you do that with smart defensive zone play, good breakouts. That'll be able to cause some odd man rushes for the Wolverines, and that's when they can get really dangerous. When they have an odd man rush, the run DMC line is absolutely lethal. They always make the smart pass. They have great chemistry, and they're able to finish a lot of the times. We haven't really seen any odd man rushes from Michigan thus far. They've just had to really grind it out in the zone. So now if you're Michigan, you kind of have to try and do 2 things. If the Michigan State is not going to give up much to you, you're just going to have to put your head down and just keep grinding, get the puck down low, keep cycling, and just battle for possession of that puck. But if you look at what the Spartans are doing, if they're going to take more rushes, if they're going to be a little more aggressive, Michigan keep their heads off, read what the other team is doing, get a feel for the game, and then try and get an odd man rush now and then if you can.
Absolutely. So, you know, 6 minutes, 45 seconds left here to go in this intermission between the first and second period. Wolverines, Michigan State. As we talked about, the crowd filled out pretty nicely. It was looking a little thin to start out. Obviously, student section, they were full, you know, 2 hours before the game even started. They had been sleeping here overnight practically. But as we mentioned, it is a Thursday night. Other than the student section, there's not going to be a ton of students on a Thursday night around finals period. You know, that can be an issue. But we saw the crowd fill out very nicely. The biggest sections at the north and south behind the goals, you know, very full tonight, almost completely full. And, you know, a little closer to ice, you know, and you get that on that first deck, towards the back of that first deck, it's a little bit thin. But other than that, it's a full crowd here tonight for the most part. Great turnout for a Thursday, great turnout for a rivalry game. You know, obviously, it's always hard to catch the students on a Thursday night during that finals period, but, you know, forget it. I mean, the children of Yost, they were all here 2 hours before the game started, so that's good for them. Crowd's been a good factor tonight. There hasn't been a lot to cheer about just yet. Some big hits, a couple shots on goal that were, you know, that definitely had potential. I think the goalkeeping has been great for both Michigan and Michigan State. Defense a little bit, you know, as you mentioned, a little bit sloppy, but the goalkeeping's been very good so far. Just as another observation there as we get ready. 5 minutes to go, 0-0, Michigan State. And, of course, we thank you guys for listening. This is WCBN FM 88.3 Ann Arbor. I'm Ian Lemersall alongside Alex Shee, and we are your intermission guys for the evening.
Ian, you mentioned there hasn't been too much to cheer about for the Wolverine, the Maize and Blue Faithful here at Yost. But based on the reaction to some of the big hits we've seen, you can tell this crowd is just waiting to erupt. And Michigan's got to make something happen. If they can go into the third period, play the second half of this game with the crowd rocking behind them all the way, that's going to be huge. So they're going to need to come out like gangbusters here in the second period. And like I mentioned at the beginning, the second period has been a big problem for the Wolverines thus far in the season. They have been outscored 18-14, a deficit of -2 for the -4 for the Wolverines in the second in the 2017-18 season. This has been their worst period, and they really, again, reverse the trend, rewrite the script. You're the better team than Michigan State. Go out there and prove it. You're a good hockey team. You don't deserve to be losing in the second period. You don't deserve to be losing as many games. Come out here, attack, and just play the game and really get going. Get the fans going. Get your team going. This is exactly the place where a team can turn around, have a mini turnaround in the season, start picking up their plane, and most importantly, gaining a lot of confidence. This can be a huge confidence builder going into the third period, and Michigan comes out attacking and gets an early lead in the second period and can play with a lead and play without a little bit of safety net so they can maybe try and open their game up a little more and get some chances.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'd like to see Tony Calderon and, of course, Cooper Maroney getting involved at the front there. Tony Calderon, the current Big Ten Conference scoring leader, averaging 1 goal per game. That is 8 goals in 8 games for him. Extremely impressive. Dexter Danks also averaging half a goal per game. That's pretty impressive to see, you know, 2 Michigan guys on that leaderboard there for the Big Ten Conference. And, you know, that is the buzzer. 3 minutes left to go. Players and coaches getting ready to head back out. And obviously, it is the Run DMC line that could make the difference in this one, making up for most of Michigan's scoring this season.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about this DMC line, but I really am looking to the bottom half lines for Michigan. They have been kind of silent tonight. We see Jake Slaker move down to the third line, trying to create some noise for the lower lines. That hasn't really happened so far, so I really look to him and Adam Wimborg to get things going for the second half of this Wolverines lineup. And then hopefully both Passiovs play a little bit bigger, be a little bit more assertive, and try and create some brotherly chemistry there between them.
I agree completely as the referees head back out to the ice. Ian Lemersall, Alex Shee. We will be back after the second period, in between the second and third. And here we have Peter Monahan and Alex Drain. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ian and Alex. Alex Drain and I, Peter Monahan, will be joining you to give you the second period of this in-state rivalry between the Michigan Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. Alex, as you and I look at the box score from the first period, is there anything that really, you know, jumps out to you in the sort of way that it would kind of dictate the way the game was played in the first period?
Not particularly. It was Michigan, I think, played a pretty clean period. They had just 1 penalty early on, but that was really they got off to a slow start. The first 4 or 5 minutes were rough. They trailed 5-1 in shots. They had taken a penalty. But really those last 15 minutes were very, very crisp. And I think they have to build on that going forward. They were led in shots by Josh Norris with 3, who had that great opportunity, was just unable to put it in. So they need to continue doing what they were doing going forward.
I agree with that. I think the Wolverines are really able to pick up some steam at the end of that first period. It seemed like they kind of had the Spartans figured out for a little bit there, throwing shots on that. And I believe there was a few scoring chances on both sides, but strong goaltending play is going to keep it 0-0 at the end of the first. About 30 seconds left until the second period begins. Run DMC line back out there for the Wolverines, facing off against the first line of the Spartans. And we will resume in about 10-ish seconds as the puck is about to drop here at Yost Arena.
Both teams getting about ready to face off. Marodi and Kodorenko going out there, the top 2 lines for these teams. The referee skates right over to the center dot. Marodi and Kodorenko step up, go into a bit of a squat position, bend their knees down, put the sticks on the ice, and we are underway. The draw is won by the Wolverines. Danks has it, and then he just kind of taps it down into the Michigan State zone, but quickly taken by the Spartans as they come out the other way. Lewandowski taps it along the boards just a tad too far for Herosi, where it's taken away now by Michigan. Trying to dig it out. Danks intercepts, and now he looks for a stretch pass just a little too far. Now he does connect. Marodi on in. He passes to the middle. Calderona's shot is blocked there by the defenseman, Tommy Miller. I'm not sure I like that decision to pass it to the center.
No, I don't think so. I think he had the opportunity on his own, but trying to make the extra pass and create offense for his teammate.
Yeah, he just one little play too much, as both teams now will get a quick change. As Michigan State brings it up the other way, Lewandowski skates just a tad before the center line, where he passes it across to Miller. Miller chips it in where it is played by the goaltender, and now along the boards, digging away at it is Herosi, Slaker among the players as it's finally dug out, and Michigan State slings it along the offensive boards, where it can be played to Michigan. Now they bring it out the other way, 3-on-2. Here they come. Norris cuts to the middle, and he gets chopped down by 2 Spartans who converged to push him down to the ice. Lockwood is the one watching as Michigan State brings the puck into the offensive zone, where they have it. 3 Wolverines converge, and it ends up being Martin who takes it away. Martin plays it up to his man Lockwood, then gets pushed down to the ice. Hughes brings it in, but he is offsides, and so we will have a quick whistle and a stoppage with 18:21 to go in period number 2. Shot still 10-7 in favor of Michigan.
I think some good defense from the Spartans to start the second period there, Alex. I know Tommy Miller had that nice block shot right in front of the net, and they were able to chop down, as you said, the Wolverines' offense.
And the draw won by Milan, back to his fellow mates in the green, Michigan State, as the puck goes down in behind Hayden Levine, where it is taken there by the defenseman, played off the boards, and up to Warren and Winborg, where it was quickly then intercepted by Zach Osborne, who plays it down. Levine comes out behind his own net and plays it along the boards, where it just kind of rattles around, pinballs a couple times. Becker leaves it behind for Boca. Michigan just trying to come and bring it out. Michigan State playing a bit of an aggressive forecheck so far, looking to try to create some urgency. They don't score a lot of goals, and now they are quickly whistled for an offside. So the faceoff will come just outside the Michigan defensive zone on the right side of the ice. Both teams putting out a fresh unit. It's going to be the 4th line now for Michigan out there for the first time in this period, made up of the Pastuov brothers along with Ruse. And it's going to be Nick Pastuov in the faceoff circle against Estevez. Stevens to his right. And the draw technically won by Michigan State, but a nice job by the left wing Pastuov to go after it and take it away. They also, equally confusing, they wear 21 and 91. Hard to tell them apart. Michigan State with a quick opportunity now. A shot goes just wide, and another opportunity comes free, where Michigan then quickly recollects, bring it out the other way. Here comes Nick Pastuov. He brings it in and pushes his defenseman Rosberg, where it's then taken away by his winger Ruse, and now it looks like some pushing and shoving going on. I think we're going to get double minor penalties, and now a big push by Stevens. It looked like Pastrov was just getting to his feet, and Stevens came over and just shoved him down. So I'm not sure who all they're going to be sending to the box. At least Pastrov, probably Stevens. We'll see who else.
Yeah, I think they might even send, I believe that's Rosberg.
Yeah.
I think Pastrov and Rosberg were kind of getting into it, but it looks like as the referee explains what happened to Rosberg, who shakes his head in some obvious anger to the referee call. But
yeah, it's two Spartans in the box. Yep.
So it's going to be a power play for the Wolverines, the rare 4-on-3. As there were minors to both teams, but
I think those are going to count as fighting because it looks like it's 5-on-4. Let's take a look. We'll see what they officially call, but it is a 5-on-4. 2 extra guys came out for both teams, and so I think that they probably marked the Rosberg-Pastrov penalty as a fighting, and then just the Stevens pushing was the 2 minutes. So anyway, a Michigan power play. Hughes across to Calderon. Calderon slings it to the other side, hits Marodi on the tape. Marodi skates to the middle and gives it to Ruse, and Ruse's quick shot is deflected by a stick in the slot. Trying to dig it out are the Wolverines, but Spartans take it away, and out they come into the neutral zone. Kodorenko leaves it behind himself. Tried to find Hiroshi, but it went just past him. Gatt picks it up anyway. Gatt has it, skates along the blue line, and looks like maybe an offside's coming. It's tough to see what the call was. I think that is.
I think it is, yeah. And you know, Alex, just as I was about to comment on the lack of physicality for both teams in the second period, we have Pastrov shoving the head of a Spartan into the ice. So they really have maintained that physicality now.
Yes, they have. The draw won by the Spartans. Norris unable to corral it, but a clear attempt by Michigan State just careened off the boards once, where it was quickly taken by Michigan, preventing perhaps 10 or so seconds getting killed off. We have about 1:10 to go in the power play, as it's now brought all the way into the Michigan State zone. Slung off the boards, and Osborne just could get it out. Piazza tried to pinch in and keep it in, but was unable to fully do so. Skating all the way back down is Piazza. He circles around behind the net, skates on up, just past the Big Ten logo, and he hits Ciccone on the tape. Ciccone sends it along the boards, and where it is quickly played by the netminder before Ciccone holds it in at the point. Slaker goes down after it with Tommy Miller. Miller and Slaker both go down. Lockwood swings around to try and pick it up. Kodorenko gets it free. Pinching up was Piazza, but he had to come out of the zone to re-corral it. And now Norris, using his speed, goes around the defenseman along the wing side, turns around, leaves it to the point, hands it off to Piazza. Piazza across to Norris. Now the sling to the middle, and it's intercepted there by Hiroshi. He brings it the other way, a potential 2-on-1. He's looking for Kodorenko, and the centering pass is tipped and up in the air. Michigan State will get a quick defensive change, as Michigan will also try to get a different unit out there. 5 seconds remaining in the power play. No shots come of it, and we are now about 15 minutes to go in the second period, 5 minutes in. Still no shots this period. A lot of possession battling in the neutral zone, but nothing sustained. Warren skates with it just past Osborne, and now it's dug out and free. Becker. Hughes calls for it by slapping his stick to the ice, but a quick takeaway now by Warren. Warren plays it off the boards to Hughes. Hughes slings it across Martin, and Martin, who is getting fended off, has to just kind of throw it up in the air. Becker's quick shot at a bad angle, and now it's taken the other way, flipped up in the air. Now Becker, another opportunity, flips up, oh, and it goes right through the crease. Taken away by Warren, now back to the point, and now it looks like we got some men on the ice. It looks like a penalty coming to Michigan. Someone's laying down, tough to tell who it is.
I think that's the defenseman Ghaffari for the Spartans. I believe he was shaken up on the play there. It looked like he was clutching his...
Yep, it is Ghaffari, good call.
His face or neck for a second, but as they skate down the ice, seems like he's going to be fine. No significant injury or anything like that. Skates off to the bench as the teams look to resume play.
But Michigan will be shorthanded. Becker goes to the box. I think it's probably going to be high sticking, but it's tough to tell from that particular vantage point, as we have the quick media timeout. Both teams over at their benches. Hayden Levine, the netminder for Michigan, taking off his goalie mask, watering himself down, and going back the slow skate down to his end of the ice where the initial faceoff will be coming as the Spartans go to their second power play of the evening. Michigan goes to their second penalty kill. Michigan taking, again, way too many penalties this season. 10.5 penalties in minutes per game for the Wolverines, number 2 in the Big Ten. Michigan State takes the fewest in the Big Ten, but we're even so far tonight.
And you know, Alex, that's always going to make it difficult when you're playing, you know, 1/6 of the game shorthanded. That's always going to make it difficult to pull out the wins even at home.
And that's probably a big reason why Michigan is allowing so many goals on average this season. Now the draw one, it kind of comes free. Now a quick puck in front of the net, they battle for it, and it's loose. And now behind the net, Michigan State has it. That was a weird opportunity, but now a quick takeaway by Slaker, and I think we're going to have a penalty. Either a trip or a slash coming. And going to the box is going to be Griffin Luce, and so now it'll be about 2 minutes of 5-on-3 action coming for Michigan State.
And, you know, just a few seconds ago, the Spartans had a really nice chance, but Nick Boca was actually lying behind Levine in the net, trying his best to you know, be the interim goalie, so to speak, while Levine regained his composure.
Tough to tell. They haven't announced what the call was, but our spotter over here, Jeremy Parks, is signaling slashing. We'll see what the official announcement is. Hooking? Yeah, hooking is the official call. Held in at the point line is Michigan State as they continue to control. First about 20 seconds of this 5-on-3 killed off for Michigan as Michigan State just trying to set up the perfect opportunity. Michigan comes out with a quick attempt. Norris puts his stick down and the puck flips up over the boards and into the netting as we will have a face-off coming here in the Michigan end. But just like that, 27 seconds killed off of the 5-on-3, and that's always productive. If you can limit it to no shots right there, that's the win.
And as we saw, it was Saccone and Milan, the Wolverines and Spartans respectively, who are exchanging a few words on the boards there as the referee to come and separate the two.
Kodorenko to take the draw with Norris, and the Spartans help out their centerman, but now the puck comes free just a tad, and Boca sticks his stick out there and pokes it just past the blue line. So Michigan State will have to get set up once more. Harrowsey brings it along the right wing boards, lays it behind himself for Lewandowski. Lewandowski skates right in real close. Now they leave it out top. Gatt gives it to Harrowsey. Harrowsey skates across now to the side. Back to at the point. Harrowsey across, and a shot is blocked. And now a swing pass across, waiting for it. Harrowsey back down low, passing across. Another try, blocked. Another one flipped up in the air. Michigan State still has it. As now a poke check opportunity by Warren. He went down to the ice, but still unable to clear. Michigan State real close. And now it's shot, and I think we're going to have a penalty upcoming to Michigan State. We're going to take a look what exactly it was. It's Kodorenko coming to the box, and now we're saying it is slashing. So that will end the 5-on-3 for Michigan State. Kodorenko will go to the box. 2 minutes for slashing. 13 shots to 9, still in favor of Michigan. But all in all, a minute 11 of 5-on-3 action, and only one shot came of it for the Spartans, and that is a big win for Michigan's penalty killing.
The Wolverines did a great job playing that, and you know what? After 49 seconds, the Wolverines are actually going to have a minute 10 of power play.
Yes.
Should they continue to kill the 4-on-3.
Because it will be a 4-on-3 power play for Michigan State, but those two penalties on Michigan are so close to each other that it's going to quickly flip around and suddenly be a power play for Michigan. They're going to get Luce and Becker out of the box within 13 seconds of each other. Draw one there by the Spartans. Norris unable to corral it. They're going with an interesting 4-on-3 unit. Saccone's the defenseman. Slaker and Norris are the forwards. It's a lot of speed out there, which is what you always want to do when there's a lot of open ice. Osborne has it and leaves it for Lewandowski, who skates to his right, leaves it behind himself for Osborne. Osborne's little pass across to Harrowsey, and a shot! And a deflect right up in front. Looks like a screen in front. might have gotten a piece of it, or it hit Levine. Tough to tell, but that's a quick shot opportunity. Looked like it either got a piece of Levine or it hit the post. Tough to tell. And Ciccone is able to chip in and get a piece of it, and he flips it all the way up to Becker, who's quickly out of the box, leaves it behind himself for Norris. A one-time opportunity, a shot, and a nice save by the Spartans, but if they can keep it in, and the Wolverines do, Ciccone, a shot, tip, scored, and a redirect in front. It looks like Norris on the redirect. Put it in.
That was a great goal by the Wolverines. Ciccone skates in to save the puck from going past the blue line and is able to take a one-timer that's tipped in by Josh Norris right over, I believe, the glove side of the Spartans goaltender there, and that's going to give the Michigan Wolverines a 1-0 lead with 12:22 left in this second period.
Yeah, Norris just kind of skated over to the center of the ice, and Leatherman was expecting it to be more down, and then Norris just kind of puts his stick on it. It redirects high up in the air and over that glove side. Leatherman unable to get back on him, the puck, and follow it as it goes in. So Michigan takes a 1-0 lead with 12:22 remaining in period number 2. Nick Pasturoff wins the draw. Quinn Hughes takes it. Hughes quickly being harassed by Michigan State, and now this is kind of the situation Michigan State didn't want. They're a team that does not score a lot. They would have much preferred to get the lead and then do what they're comfortable in, which is preventing goals. Michigan is much more comfortable in a high-scoring game. And Michigan's going to have to defend a lead. Pasturoff behind for his brother, Michael, who was quickly chopped down to the ice, but now the puck comes free, and Ruse takes a quick opportunity, goes high and rising over top the goal. Now swung across the blue line, but unable to be held in at the line by Martin. And we have the official Michigan goal announcement coming over the Jumbotron. It will be attributed to Josh Norris, the freshman from Oxford, Michigan, wearing the number 9. And assist to Joe Ciccone by virtue of the shot, which was redirected. Martin slings it along the boards as it is in the Michigan defensive zone. Michigan State aggressive for a second on the forecheck, but then they retreat to change as both teams will swap out their forward units. Hughes, a long stretch pass. Calderon leaves it for Marody. He's got an opportunity, skates in, drags right to the middle and waits, but and off the moorings came the net as Dank somehow ended up in the net. And Calderon did a really good job to toe drag it and bring it to the middle, and all of a sudden a man was in the net, but now it looks like we got a penalty coming to Michigan State. I think it's coming to number 71, Logan Lambden of Newport, Michigan. I think he's going to get a penalty for doing something to Danks. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like a hook.
Yeah, he forced Danks into the net to possibly stop the Wolverines' offensive chance there. It looked like it was going to be a nice shot by Marody, who kind of dragged it in, but nonetheless, the Wolverines will head to the power play.
And this is a chance for Michigan to really put MSU behind the 8 ball if they can convert here. And now a quick opportunity right in on Leatherman, but he puts the trapper down. So Michigan will have 2 minutes of power play time.
And, you know, I think if you're the Spartans, you have to be a little bit disappointed because you had the 5-on-3, and you did have a nice play going with the kind of passing, circling in that nice and close, but then the Wolverines turn around and score right on their power play. So it's got to be tough to figure out what to do if you're the Spartans. Yeah,
well, what they have to do first off is kill off this penalty. Marody is right around the circle, leaves it behind himself for Calderon. Calderon skates in a tad, and a quick pass across to Hughes. Hughes leaves it behind himself for Marody, who leaves it back, but Hughes was not where Marody thought he was, and now it's a quick race for the puck. But Hughes is as fast as anybody, and he is able to cut off Sam Saliba of Michigan State, and now Hughes is the one bringing it in. A quick little play off the boards. He brings it along behind the net, and now digging it out are the Spartans trying to clear it, but now an opportunity right in front of the net. Danks a shot, and he's going to have a wraparound opportunity, but was unable to quickly corral it, but that shot is number 16 of the night for Michigan, and they continue to control it in the offensive zone. A nice pass across the crease, just a tad too far for Calderon. Calderon skates, leaves it for Hughes, and now he skates back down right around the circle, plays it off the boards, and Hughes is going to crank a one-timer, and it's blocked by Saliba, but keeping it in the offensive zone is Marody, and then it was quickly blocked, but cutting over to the middle. Another opportunity, skating around to the right side is Marody. His centering pass, that one's intercepted, but Hughes keeps it in the clear by Michigan State, went right into his body, and now a shot from Calderon, high and rising as the screen. Danks went to the ice. As they continue to attack, they've been on the ice straight for just almost about 90 seconds now. Puck comes free, Marody has it, he skates with it, leaves it behind. Lockwood has come on for Ruse. Lockwood leaves it for Hughes. Hughes waits, dangles a bit. Now a pass, and Calderona's shot is blocked and now sent all the way back down the ice. So you can't say that was a bad power play for Michigan. As about 10 seconds remaining, it will be all but killed off. But just unable to get that crucial second goal. They remain up 1-0 over Michigan State. Lockwood now using his speed to have an opportunity and a wraparound try. Waits, and a one-time shot is blocked there. Slaker's opportunity, unable to put it in, and now it's all the way back down the ice where Piazza recollects. But now Kodorenko has it, and he's got Heresy all the way across, but intercepted by Saccone, who back-checked very well to cut off that passing lane. But now Michigan State brings it the other way. Heresy, a nice pass across, looking for Kodorenko, pushed from behind, and out comes Slaker the other way. He's surrounded by 4 Spartans, so he's just going to dump it, and he'll be the first one to get it. And a quick chance at a wraparound opportunity was cut off there by Osborne, the defenseman. And it looks like Michigan might have had too many men on the ice. We'll take a look. I think that is the call. There's a whistle for the referees. We're going to take a look. They're consulting with the box as we get a stoppage in play with 8:31. And no, I guess I'm not sure here. One of the boxes is Michigan's box is open, but not sure what they whistled it dead for.
Perhaps the coach is just deciding who he wants to put in there for the too many men on the ice penalty. If that
could be the case. Yep, it is.
It's going to be Becker then for the Wolverines, who's going to sit the 2 minutes. Well, that's a shame for the Wolverines, who seem to have gained a little bit momentum, especially on that last power play. It's always dangerous to give any offensive life to your opponent, especially when you're only up 1, and it has been a tightly fought game. So I'm sure the Spartans here are going to look to capitalize on this power play. 2 minutes. And that's going to coincide with the 8:31 left in the second period.
Michigan are leading the shots 6-3 in favor of the Wolverines, as we have the Home Alone cam with people throughout the crowd making the Home Alone face as they pan the cameras around a pretty crowded Yost Ice Arena. It was very sparse, even just 10 minutes before the game, but it's filled in well. And now the face-off is won by Josh Norris, who then gives it to Boca, plays it off the boards, but unable to come free. Now Norris does clear it out, and all the way back down the ice goes Warren on the forecheck. Leatherman has it, and Warren aggressively comes out to try to hack at it. Lockwood pursues Heresy, who then passes it up to his defenseman Carson Gatt of South Lyon, Michigan, as Michigan State brings it into the offensive zone. They try to set up their attacking unit. Gatt across to Lewandowski. Now across, looking for Milan. Now back to Gatt, and a shot is blocked there by Brendan Warren, who got down real low for it. And now the pass intercepted by the Wolverines, and they clear it back down the ice with 7:43 to go. 1:10 remaining in the power play. Gatt has it, where he is being pursued by Lockwood. Lockwood tried to pick his pocket, but unable to fully take it away. Taro Heresy has it. He is the leading scorer for the Michigan State Spartans with 18 points. He, along with Mitchell Lewandowski, who happens to be the highest scoring freshman in the Big Ten, they lead the team. Patrick Kodorenko, the sophomore, with 13 points. It's that top line that really provides most of the offensive juice for the Spartans. With about 7 minutes to go here in period number 2. Kodorenko brings it along in, lays it behind himself, and now a big hit laid by Martin on Kodorenko. He got knocked all the way to the ice, and the puck taken away by Martin, and he clears it down the board. So about 15 seconds to go in the power play, but Michigan, really a strong-looking penalty kill. They have not allowed a shot for the Spartans so far, and really, I mean, Michigan State hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities to even control it in the offensive zone. But now they do, and a shot opportunity is blocked right out in front. They throw it in on net, and it goes just around behind, and out of the box comes Becker. Digging it free is Winborg. He flips it up in the air. Becker goes after it, trying to pursue Rosberg, but just unable to take it from him. Osborne, long stretch pass is intercepted, and out they come the other way. Michael Pastrov lays it behind him. Winborg, a shot! And a nice little save by John Leatherman.
And like you mentioned, Alex, the Spartans had their high-scoring first line out there, but unable to capitalize. It seemed like they were kind of discombobulated on that power play. A lot of their passes being kind of tipped or poked by that probing Michigan defense. So obviously for the Spartans, it's a little bit disappointing coming off that power play where it was so kind of disorganized. But back to 5-on-5, still only a 1-goal game, so lots of hockey left.
Yes, indeed. And if you want to know a telling stat, no shots on that power play for Michigan State, and as soon as it ended, a shot for Michigan. So there's just not a lot of offense there for the Spartans as the puck is held in the Michigan State defensive zone. Trying to dig it out are the Spartans' defensive core, Mitch Elliott, along with Jared Rosberg. Now it's held in at the point and loose. Fires it in on net just a tad wide. Boca pinches up, and he'll center it right into the middle. Tipped up in the air by Becker, and just up and over top the net. Kamer passes it down just a little bit too far for who he was looking for, which happens to be Gianluca Estevez, as they jostle in the neutral zone before it comes into the MSU defensive zone. And now an opportunity. Pasturoff just kind of fires it in on net, and now the puck is down behind the net. Right, comes out in front. Calderon had an opportunity, but unable to get the tape really right on it. Hughes backtracks and skates around, always a smooth skater. And he does a couple circles around and leaves it for Martin. Martin and his pass all the way up for Marodi. Now the puck comes free, and Denix to Calderon. Calderon right in front. A nice little move. He scores! Woo! What a little deke by Calderon. Forehand, backhand, and just slides it in behind Letherman. And with 5 minutes even to go here in period number 2, our score, Michigan 2, Michigan State nothing.
That was an excellent goal by the Wolverines, as looks like one of their run DMC lines is able to capitalize on a goal. Very nice to see if you're a Wolverines fan. It looks like Letherman had kind of bought that he was going on glove side and unable to regain his balance, and the Wolverines are able to put it behind him.
Well, that was a really kind of an odd opportunity because Danks just pushed it forward, and suddenly Calderon realized he had it on the tape of his stick right in front of the netminder, and with really no defense around him, and he was able to slow it down and make just one simple little deke, forehand, backhand, and then slide it behind the pad of Letherman. And so 2-0 Wolverines, and now it's danger time for Michigan State, a team that does not score a lot. They are where they don't like to be very often, which is behind. And no team really does, but Michigan's gotten used to being a comeback team really this season. They had 2 dramatic comebacks against Minnesota. So Michigan's going to have to try to focus on keeping the lead, something that they have done at times. Marodi leaves it behind him. Danks tries to cut to the middle, but the puck is quickly taken away by Osborne, who plays it up for Lambden, but pinched off is Quinn Hughes. Hughes circles around with it behind the net, lays it behind himself, looking for Sam Piazza. Piazza long stretch pass to Dexter Danks. Danks slows it down, waits, gives it to Norris. Norris just tries to center it in front of the net, and Lockwood is unable to grab it as it was nicely blocked. A good defensive effort there. And now a shot in on net. Blocked in front. Lockwood recollects. He skates around with it, cuts to the middle, and his shot is blocked, but down behind. Osborne digging away at it alongside Norris. Also there for the Spartans was about 2 or 3 other players. A nice unit of green converging on the Michigan Whites as these 2 teams, in-state rivals, battling it out with about 3 minutes to go in period number 2. A nice play by Lockwood to leave it behind himself. Saccone tried a centering pass, but a little too hot for Lockwood to handle as the puck then ricochets out into the neutral zone. Sanford sends it across. He gets pushed a bit, and Lockwood lays a nice little hit on Osborne, and the puck goes up into, I think, the bench of Michigan State.
And as you mentioned, Alex, obviously the Wolverines are happy to be up in this game, and they look to, continue this lead. However, as you know, a 2-goal lead is probably the worst lead in hockey. It's kind of a well-known thought that, maybe when you're up 2 goals, teams tend to kind of turtle shell on defense and not be as aggressive on offense, which could lead to offensive chances for the other team. So obviously we're looking to see if the Wolverines are going to be able to continue their offensive pursuit. It seems like they have so far, but the Spartans are going to hopefully be able to bury one as they try to come back in this game.
And we're looking at the Michigan Wolverines in the NHL graphic. It's an exciting week for Michigan hockey in the NHL. In fact, the game down at not Jolis Arena, Little Caesars Arena down in Detroit between the Winnipeg Jets and the Michigan Wolverines had 5 different Wolverines alumni, including Kyle Connor, along with Andrew Kopp and Jacob Truba for the Jets. They were all in town. It was a nice showing of Michigan players down at Little Caesars. And of course, Red Wings leading scorer Dylan Larkin, also a Michigan alumni. He was at a game earlier this year against Vermont. So always good to see Wolverines in the NHL, and quite a few players on this Wolverines squad drafted into the NHL themselves. As play resumes with MSU and the attacking end of the ice with their first line out there, Michigan rolling with the third line. Winberg and Warren are out there as they've shuffled it back up. Slaker has jumped back up to the second line. It's Becker, Winberg, and Warren on the third line for Michigan, as the play is right around the blue line before MSU chips in and slings it along the boards down into the zone, and out come the other way. Warren tries to get past Elliott, unable to do so, and just has to kind of rifle it in on net. Boca had it at the point, sends it in deep where 2 Spartans are going to converge around Becker, and coming free with it is Elliott, just a tad. Pastuov digs away at it as his brother was right there alongside him. Now the Spartans come out the other way before Michael Pastuov takes it away. Slings it out to the middle, a little too far for Roos, where the Spartans then pick it up and bring it the other direction. Shots now 19-11 in favor of the Wolverines. Just about 90 seconds to go. Our score, Michigan's 2, Michigan State 0, here on WCBN 88.3 FM Ann Arbor. And reminder to stick around for the intermissions, as we will have another strong intermission report. We're about to turn it over to them as soon as this play finishes up. Just about 1:15 to go. Levine lays it behind for his defenseman. Quick pass across to each other. Now Pastuov, Nick it is the one who brings it to the middle. He fanned on his shot, picked his pocket from behind, was Kiefer along with Osborne. Now Osborne's the one with it, but pinching up is Piazza to take it away quickly as Gaffari has it. He skates a tad behind the net, now circles around in front, but quick takeaway there by the Wolverines. Marodi and Danks are the ones to take it away, and a nice pass from Marodi all the way across looking for Ciccone, and now Piazza's shot blocked there in the middle by Kiefer. Danks going to circle around behind the net, plays it off the board. Ciccone a shot, ooh, and it just goes wide of the net. Piazza comes up for it, and waiting with it is Marodi. Marodi dangles to the middle and waits with it. Kiefer plays it off the boards. Marodi slings it along there. Ciccone has it, and now taken away quickly by the Spartans as it's cleared out into the neutral zone. Lambden was the one pursuing, and a pass intercepted. Kiefer gets to the middle, and his shot quickly shoveled aside there by Levine. Only 5 shots this period for the Spartans. One last rush potentially for Calderon, but he gets wrestled along the board. Now back out to the center ice, and the horn will sound. Marodi, the last one to touch the puck. 2 goals for Michigan here in period number 2. None for the Spartans. Michigan outshot Michigan State 9-5 in that period and lead the shots tally 19-12 as we get ready for the second intermission, where the second intermission report here on WCBN 88.3 FM Ann Arbor will be taken by Alex Shee and Ian Lemersall, and we will be back in a little bit. Enjoy the intermission.
All right. WCBN FM 88.3. I am Ian Lemersall. Alongside me, Alex Shee. Thank you guys for choosing to listen to our broadcast of the Michigan Wolverines hockey game against Michigan State here at the Yost Ice Arena. Alex, it's been a very eventful second period. It was. Let's give it a little recap to anyone who was listening, anyone maybe who just tuned in. Just kind of recap the action. To start things out here, Michigan, 2 goals in that second period, up 2-0 on the Michigan State Spartans. 19 goals for the Wolverines, 12 for Michigan State. What did you make of that second period?
Oh, well, that was a great second period for Michigan. Finally got the goals, 2 of them. and the crowd was absolutely loving it here. That's really important for the Wolverines going into this third period with all the momentum in the world right now. And Michigan tends so far this year, the third period has been their best season, their best period. They've tended to be a third period team. So you definitely have to like that they're now going into their best period with a 2-0 lead. Very good play by all three of their lines out there, which was so important, not just only relying on the DMC line for not just offensive production, but just for puck possession. All lines possessed the puck really well. They forechecked well, and they pressured Michigan State into making some mistakes. Because of their big physical play, they pressured Michigan State to retaliate and to go a little bit crazy on some penalties. And the 2 penalties by Michigan State did a lot for U of M to get some momentum, to get a power play going, to get some shots on net. And the second period was the story was really momentum. Huge momentum swings for Michigan after a good penalty kill, a 3-on-5 at one point. That really can do a lot for your team when you survive something like that, to get the confidence, to get the energy up. And that did wonders for the Wolverines. Right after they came right back out, they took advantage of a Michigan State defense that was caught napping on the power play. Right when they came back to even spank, they hit Jack Becker, who was able to set up a big first goal for the Wolverines. And then they were able to kind of flip the script a little bit, cause Michigan State to make a bad pass in their own zone. And then Danks and Calderon were able to connect. Great chemistry by the two, great awareness to be able to pick the pockets of Michigan State, and easy goal.
Absolutely. That goal was very nice as well. In particular, I love the way that, so Tony Calderon on that second goal to take that 2-0 lead for the Wolverines. Calderon had the puck right in front of the goal. It was basically him and no one else. He was right there, guys right behind him coming up on him. He slowed down, took his time, and delivered a nice, perfect strike. Without much, he didn't have much space either.
No, he didn't. That was just a veteran play all around by that DMC line. First, the awareness, the vision, and the good defensive positioning by Danks to pick the pocket of a Michigan State defense that was just trying frantically to get the puck out of the zone. They made a mistake trying to put it up the middle, but Danks was right there, slides it easily right to Calderon, and Calderon, cool as a cucumber, patiently waits and gets the perfect opportunity on a great deke to fool the goaltender. And just like that, 2-0 Michigan. And that's a really good look for the Wolverines. I mean, that DMC line didn't do much in the first period, which was really unusual from them. And like you said, Calderon averaging a goal a game was pretty quiet in the first period, but wow, did he step up in a big way. And obviously you look to your veteran guys like that, your stars, in a big rivalry game to pick you up. That's what they did. This is just the Wolverines hockey right here. This is what they do.
Absolutely.
Happy to see them finally firing on all cylinders after a bit of a rough patch. And that first goal meant so much to the Wolverines, not just because obviously you got to score to win, you got to get the first goal, but just their confidence level after some really rough games to be able to have a great feel-good period like that. 2 goals, some big hits, rivalry game, power plays, penalty kills. The Wolverines did it all that period. And I mean, I'm at a loss for words here. I'm so excited for these guys right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
A big bounce back period, and you got to think the mood in that locker room right now is absolutely ecstatic. This is going to be a huge confidence booster, and don't count Michigan State out yet. That would be a huge mistake, but I'm really going to look for the Wolverines to build upon that period even more with their newfound confidence and be able to open up their game, take some chances, make some big plays now that they have a 2-goal cushion. However, 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey.
Yep.
So don't. I would not be surprised if Michigan State comes storming out of this period and not only gets 1 goal but ties things up pretty quickly. You got to watch out for that.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think, look, Michigan up 2-0, 7 more shots than Michigan State. They've held Michigan State to 12 shots so far through 2 periods. That's 6 per period. Just to reiterate, 6 per period. That is not very many shots. They've been controlling the time of possession. They've been controlling them on defense, forcing a lot of turnovers here, and again, just dominating the time of possession in a way that makes you feel really good about the Wolverines' chances to hold on here. But you can never count out Michigan State. You can never count out a rival. You can never count out a hockey team with this much talent like Michigan State. I think the mood's very good in the locker room right now for Michigan, but this is a rivalry. 2-0 is a tough lead to have, and it's not like Michigan's played a perfect game, though things have just started clicking for them. You can never get too confident and too arrogant and too far ahead of yourself. That being said, a 2-0 lead does look nice against a rival. I think everyone's pretty excited in here. Everyone's about ready to explode, for the potential of a rivalry victory tonight. The band is playing. The crowd's about full. Student section been packed this whole night. It's a good crowd. I think everyone's ready for this rivalry victory. But again, 20 more minutes they got to hold on for. 2-0 lead is a dangerous lead to have, as crazy as that sounds. But like you said, Michigan's going to have the opportunity to take more chances with this cushion and with how good their defense has been playing. With the lack of offense from Michigan State, Michigan will have chances to try and do a little extra in this third period. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. And it is exciting. You can tell by just, on the Jumbotron right now, they're showing the crowd, they're showing the students, the different fans. Everyone's very excited. The student section has been in it. We've talked so much about it already. The student section's been in it since they got here, 3 hours ago. Everyone's very excited right now and about ready to explode. And, it's really showing right now in the energy in the crowd as you look through, the band, the crowd, the fans. People are standing right now, and it's intermission. People are just so excited about this game right now. 2 electrifying goals and really an electrifying period for the Wolverines. As you mentioned, Alex, the Wolverines' worst period is the second period, but that ended up being their best. Maybe that's a sign of change for this Wolverines team.
Exactly.
Real interesting. The first period also not an incredibly fruitful period for the Wolverines this season, but Michigan State as well. Michigan State is 0-4 this season when they give up the first goal in the game. So clearly, when Michigan State is unable to to contain the opposing team and unable to get out on a lead, they don't possess the ability to come back. At least not this year. They haven't showed that just yet. Will this be the first time Michigan State's won a game where they gave up the first goal? We'll see, but that's an intriguing stat to keep track of. 0-4 for Michigan State when they give up the first goal. Michigan was able to strike first. They were able to strike again after that. But the way this game's been going, a 2-0 lead might as well be a 1-0 lead because the defense has just been so strong on both sides for the most part. Again, only 12 shots for Michigan State, but only 19 for the Wolverines. That's not, that's nowhere near the most that they've had this season. I mean, there's been points in this season where they had 25, 26, 27 shots. At this point, it hasn't been an overly active game on either side. A lot of penalties so far. That was one thing we touched on when we were talking before this game, was that it was going to be a very aggressive, very physical game.
Yeah, there were 8 penalties in that game, in that period, from both teams combined, and you could really see some of the Michigan State frustration starting to boil over. Michigan has just dominated this game physically. They've knocked down the Spartans every chance they can get. And the Spartans seemed a little bit aggravated, trying to kind of up the chippiness level there, start to kind of fight back. But Michigan has really controlled the momentum of this game. They've really made it about them, which is a huge sign of when you can do that, is when you can kind of bait the other team into getting a little bit more penalty, getting a little nervous, starting to make mistakes, and starting to get unnecessarily chippy. That's what the Spartans have done, and that's just a testament of how the Michigan Wolverines have taken control of this game. One reason I really think that they've played a lot better is the 4 lines, like I said, played really well, but in each facet of their game. In the forecheck, all 4 lines played really well. A nice little bounce back period for the 4th line, the Pastujov line. Michael Pasioff didn't have the greatest first period in the world, but second he really stepped up, his head down, just chased the puck. Made some things happen in the offensive zone, made the Michigan State defenders a little bit jittery, a couple give-ups by them, and good for him. I like to see him in his second game make an impact like that. And then in the neutral zone, Michigan has been good, skating the puck with authority, making smart passes. And then obviously they clean things up in the defensive zone a lot. Michigan State really didn't have that many chances aside from their power play opportunities. So that's good by Michigan defense. And again, I keep saying his name, but Quinn Hughes really making things happen, really moving the puck well. I think Sam Piazza also had a good period moving the puck. Had a couple really long passes where he kept his head up, fired it with authority across the ice. I found an open man streaking into the zone for the Wolverines. You like to see more of them. That's their brand of hockey, and hopefully they can keep it up in this third period. And right now, the crowd with the Blues Brothers, Can't Turn You Loose, one of the great Yost Arena traditions. Look for the crowd, look for the players, and look for Michigan's season to really build from that strong, exciting second period. That's a really feel-good moment that they needed. And I don't want to think too far ahead. You still got to win this game. But if Michigan has another good period, I really like their chances tomorrow night going in with a full head of steam, with a lot of momentum. And right now the momentum is completely tipped in the maize and blue direction. Really don't get complacent if you're the Wolverines. This goes without saying, but do not get complacent. Keep up the intensity. You know, you're playing the physical game. You're knocking them down. You're playing with speed. You should be good to go for this third period, and it's your home. Feed off the energy, keep at it, and don't give up. Your 2-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. Do not give up.
Yeah,
keep
absolutely.
up the intensity like you're down by 2 goals.
And it is worth mentioning, at one point in the second period, Michigan with only 3 guys out there, Michigan State with all 5. It was a dangerous time, double power play for the Spartans. That was very dangerous to watch. But Michigan, again, playing with a lot of heart on defense, playing very strong defense tonight. That was a fun thing to see, I think, for a lot of the fans here, and probably frustrating for the Spartans was that they were unable to get many good shots off at all on a 5-on-3 double power play there. I guess what you can hope for at this point, if you are Michigan State, is that Michigan has some lapses on defense. If you can cut that goal lead to 2-1, if you're Michigan State, you're within 1 goal, and really all it takes is a couple strong attacks to find opportunities. But that first goal is going to be really important for Michigan State. They're going to need to find something there because they haven't had many great opportunities all night. They're going to need to find some soon if they want to have a chance at evening this one up. But like we've said, cannot get too complacent in this situation if you're Michigan. So, minute 30 seconds left. We're going to switch it back over to Pete and Alex. Thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned for this third period of action. 2-0 Michigan Wolverines.
And we are back here, just about a minute 20 to go here in the second intermission before these two teams, Michigan and Michigan State, getting ready for the third period. Score 2-0 in favor of the Wolverines. Shots 19-12 in favor of Michigan. And now the team's coming out back onto the ice. Michigan coming back out with the Hail to the Victors sounding. And just about a minute to go. Joined back, I'm Alex Drain with Peter Monahan. As we get set for the third period, Peter, what does Michigan have to do to hold on to this lead and win the game?
Well, I think what Michigan has to do is kind of like we talked about earlier. They really have to avoid that turtle shell mentality on defense where you kind of, stop being aggressive on offense and you let the other team kind of gain some momentum. Obviously, should the Spartans score early or even kind of in the middle of the third, they would only be down 1 goal. It's only a 2-goal lead. It's not insurmountable, but Spartans' offense isn't that powerful, so the Wolverines fans are surely hoping that their team can hang on for this win.
Yes, indeed, and it's just about 10 seconds to go. The teams have sent out their top attacking units. First lines for both teams out there, along with Piazza and Saccone for Michigan. Gatt and Miller for Michigan State. 20 minutes of action will decide Game number 1 of this 2-game set. In-state rivalry, a grudge match. Saccone had it for a quick second. Now Marodi up to Calderon, and Michigan brings it into the offensive zone right away. They really played quite strong since really the first 5 minutes of action. It was 5-1 shots in favor of Michigan State. Since then, 18-7 in favor of Michigan. They used that first power play to really get on the attack, even though they did not quite convert on it. They do have a power play goal, though. Michigan State unable to convert on a 5-on-3. Now Michigan has it down in the offensive zone. Calderon whiffed on an opportunity, but he lays it behind himself for Danks, hands it off to Marodi. Marodi turns with it, circles and waits, and gets pushed a little bit to the side, now intercepted by Michigan State. But here they come the other way. Calderon has a goal tonight. He skates along the right side, leaves it behind himself for Marodi. Marodi curls and is going to go behind the net. Pass out in front and a shot. Fry Hughes goes just high and over top the net. We're just about a minute into period number 3. Digging it out is Marodi. He takes a quick shot, deflected by Letherman. Hughes plays it off the boards, and now Michigan will yank off their first line. They've been out there now for quite some time, so they will get a quick change. Michigan State brings out a different unit, and they come out into the offensive zone. Sam Saliba plays it off the boards to get around Martin, who then applies a really firm check on him. Now a pass to the point, a nice shot, and a good save by Hayden Levine. Just grabs it with the body right into his chest, and he hangs on for the save.
And as we talked about in regards to the team's offensive opportunities, through 2 periods, the Wolverines had 43 total attempted shots, almost doubling the 22 by the Spartans. So the Spartans are going to have to get a lot more shots on net, but especially just shots in general to generate some more scoring chances in this period.
Yes, indeed. Spartans win the draw. Rosberg has it on the left point, pursued by Lockwood, so he just sends it down for his attackers to get set up before it pinballs all the way back around to the point, where a quick shot by Rosberg himself is quickly deflected. Slaker plays it to the middle, looking for Lockwood, just a little too far for him, but Lockwood is able to change his direction, pick it up, now bring it along the right side, and tried to sort of shoot it at a bad angle at the net, but unable to do so. Boca applies a nice check on Logan Lambden, but taken by Michigan in the neutral zone. They skate backwards into their own defensive zone to get set up. Lockwood plays it off the boards. Now Norris has it. Norris waits, centers to Slaker, and Slaker's shot deflected just a tad by the skate of the defenseman for Michigan State. As now they wait. Spartans bring it out the other way. Here they come. Kamer and Ghaffari are the ones on the attack. Ghaffari turns around, waits with it, lays it behind Kamer. Kamer waits, circles, plays it off the boards, down low, looking for an opportunity, just trying to get something set up. Sanford slings it along the boards as they just continue to be a little bit discombobulated. Milan has it, continues to battle along with Kamer, but Michigan quickly surrounds and takes it away. Shots 21-13 now in favor of Michigan. About 3 minutes into period number 3, Michigan State's going to have to get moving, as now Michigan has it in the offensive zone. Warren plays it up to the point. Saccone with it. Saccone just rifles it just to the right of the defense. And now behind the net, Wimborg skates along to the left side, hands it off. Now a shot by Piazza is blocked and deflected high up into the netting. So the faceoff will stay in the Spartans' defensive zone. 16:46 remaining in period number 3. The score, Michigan 2, Michigan State 0.
And so far in these almost 3.5 minutes we've seen in the third, not much has changed from the Spartans, attempts of attacking. They haven't really pressed the puck as much. They've been about the same as we've seen them through the first 2.
Fourth line now out there for Michigan. Nick Pastrov to take the draw, joined by his brother Michael on the right wing, and Alex Ruse on the left wing. Saccone, Piazza, the defenseman. Draw won by MSU. And it's like a clear opportunity. Went up into either the bench or the stands. But regardless, because it was last touched by the Spartans, the draw will stay in MSU's defensive zone. They'll do it again really quickly. Pastuov to take the draw along with Saliba. Draw won by the Wolverines. Piazza puts it off the boards just a little too far for where Michael Pastuov was, but now taken down behind the net. Spartans have it, and a nice long centering pass up to Logan Lambden. Here they come. A 3-on-3 opportunity pass to the center, and a nice shot there by Saliba. Went just wide of the net. And now out into the neutral zone. Miller, a pass across. Waiting is Gat. He skates into the center a little bit, got hit hard by Nick Pastrov, knocked down to the ice, and Michael Pastrov plays it off the boards. The fourth line coming off now for Michigan as they've cycled all their lines through here in the first 4 minutes of action. As a pass to the middle, puck comes free, it's loose in front, and Hughes had an opportunity, but was just unable to corral it as Martin plays it off the boards for Hughes. As Michigan is all the way back in their own defensive zone. Hughes circles around behind the net, then tipped by Calderon, sent all the way back down. Danks pursues after it. He fights with the Spartan he was juking with, but unable to come free as MSU clears it back down into the Michigan defensive zone. Lewandowski pinches up, and now an opportunity coming free, and Michigan State just fires it wide. It looked like Heresy unable to stay on his skates and put a good shot in on net. Hughes comes up from behind as he gets to his feet, takes the puck away, and now he flips it up in the air right onto the skates of Calderon. Calderon pass to the middle, just too far for Marodi. A nice opportunity there developing for Michigan State, just unable to cash in. And then, of course, the other end, Michigan with chances. So both teams opportunities here in the first 5 minutes of action. Ghaffari skates with it, stops on a dime, turns around, and hits tape to Heresy. Plays it off the boards for Esteves, and Lockwood is down there. Boca pinches it just past the Spartan forecheckers as they continue to fight for it. Now recollected by Slaker, and Slaker using that speed. He's got an opportunity, and he's going to take a quick shot into the glove of Letherman. Nice save there by the Spartan netminder, and we will have the quick media timeout. Shots 22-13 now in favor of Michigan.
It looks like for the most part the gameplay has continued into the third. No real changes, so to speak. However, I could probably say that there's maybe a little less physicality because the Spartans are really trying to get good opportunities and maybe focusing a little bit less on the power side of the hockey game and more on the finesse, trying to put a goal in the net.
Well, they definitely need to score. I mean, they just really have not had a whole lot of great opportunities. Michigan has really played some sound defense, and whether that's just the product of playing a team that doesn't score a lot or whether it is a tweak to the fundamentals, they've looked good for a team that allows as many goals as Michigan does, 3.43 per game. They have played really, really tight defense and really haven't made their goaltender do a whole lot. There was a couple big saves in the very beginning. The save where Levine slid right to left on the one-timer opportunity. But outside of that, they haven't asked him to do a whole lot, and that's a goaltender's favorite night, as Levine is looking to try and procure his third win of the season. He's 2-3-2 coming in, and now the draw won by Michigan as they have it in the Spartans' defensive zone, trying to create an opportunity and kind of put this game out of reach if they can get that third goal. Lockwood digs it out, has it along the boards, and now gets pushed aside by Gat as they continue to battle for it. Now it comes out to Boca to Luce, and a shot goes just wide of the net. Now it's Luce behind, trying a wraparound opportunity, now laid to the point. Boca slings it across for Luce. Luce goes down low to Slaker. Slaker just unable to fully corral it, but now intercepted in the middle, but then quickly taken away by Lambden. Laid it behind looking for someone, but no one was there. Boca pinches up to try to reverse the trend the other way, but Lambden then comes right back to take it away, and he's going to try a wraparound opportunity, and he slid down with force applied by Lockwood, and now a big check opportunity by Smith as Michigan State not letting Michigan push them around, but offensively just unable to do a whole lot at this current moment. Rosberg, a long stretch pass up for Sanford. He gets a nice check put on him by Ciccone. Pass now across. They continue to do really sharp passing to the Wolverines as it's rifled down just wide of the netminder. Corralled along the boards. Warren curls to the middle. He waits. He shoots, and got blocked up in the air. And now it's Loose down behind the Michigan State net as a bunch of players there trying to all come with it and dig it out, but now it finally comes free. Sanford has it, a nice pass to the middle and a breakaway opportunity, and on net is Kamer, a shot and a save by Levine. A nice opportunity for the Spartans, but an even better save by Levine. He stood tall, but the Spartans still have it in the offensive zone. Ghaffari plays it deep, looking for Milan. Milan rifles it to the point. Another try, wrestled aside by Levine, using that right pad to push it into the corner. Battling for it, Becker along with Winborg, and now taken by MSU, trying to create an opportunity, but Michigan playing tough physical defense. Neither team really able to do much with it, but now MSU is going to need to get a change, so they will retreat. They're going to leave a forechecker back, that is Kamer, but far too many Wolverines for anything threatening to happen, as both teams will get reset up, and now thrown down to the ice is Michael Pastuov, dug out along the boards. Kodorenko has it, taken away by Michigan. Played it back into the neutral zone, into the defensive zone, but then a long stretch pass by Ghaffari, tipped a tad by Lewandowski to make sure there would be no icing. Now out at the point, Hiroshi has it, battled for Kodorenko along with him, and Hiroshi's going to wrap around with it, along behind the net, throws it to the point man, and now it comes loose in front of that. Lewandowski, a quick opportunity in front. A shot by Kodorenko and a great save by Levine. A little bit more pressure here from Michigan State, but Michigan being stout as well. A quick icing here on Michigan. The faceoff will come back into the defensive zone.
And the Spartans have had a few quick chances there in the offensive zone. However, Levine for the Wolverines has been a stone wall in net tonight. He's really come up big in all situations, and it's been very difficult for the Spartans to get it really a read on him tonight.
Yes, and it looks like Michigan's going to call a timeout. They were going to be in their own zone, backed up with some tired guys. So Mel Pearson's going to give his guys a quick break to rest their legs. Shots now 22-16 in favor of Michigan. Michigan State with a little 3 shots since we last updated it, trying to apply some pressure as we're under 12 minutes to go in this game. Still 2-0 Michigan. Referees have skated over to the box and get a quick water break, wipe themselves down as they get ready for this last surge of action. Hail to the victors. The fight song of the Michigan Wolverines plays in the student section, and the students cheer along. Good crowd. They're excited to try to see the home team pull out a rivalry victory over Michigan State. And of course, these two teams will be right back at it tomorrow. A quick, about a 90-minute drive to East Lansing, where they will play in Munn Arena tomorrow night.
And this definitely has to be refreshing for Wolverines fans if they're able to pull out the W tonight. A recent loss to OSU in basketball, and of course to MSU and OSU in football. So kind of a tough fall for the Wolverines sporting-wise, but tonight they've really seemed to dominate all aspects of the game against their rivals from East Lansing.
And they just have to keep it going for another 11:30 to close out a W tonight, as the draw is won by Estevez, now sent down behind. Stevens has it, battled along with Martin. It looks like the goalie stick of Hayden Levine comes free, and he's looking for an opportunity to try to skate out and get it, but still is without it as it goes all the way back into the Michigan offensive zone, now out into the neutral zone, back into the attacking end, and now he finally does get an opportunity to skate out and grab it just in time for Michigan State to bring it into the neutral zone. Smith passes it back to his defenseman, Rosberg, who gives it to Estevez. Around loose, and now a nice hard check by Boca as Michigan's defense once again comes to the rescue of the forwards, doing a good job of just securing any opportunities that might be coming, and then the occasional one that gets past that, you have Levine pick it up. It's the way they've drawn it up so far as we're approaching just about the halfway mark of this period. 10:30 to go in period number 3. Left behind for Osborne. Osborne's stretch pass. Ooh, and a big hit by Luce, laid on Michigan State's number 19. And the action comes around the other way. Marodi has it. Now taken away. Kiefer, the man, of course, number 19, who had it. The hit laid on him. He's back to his feet as Michigan State again goes to the attack, trying to have the deficit. Lambden, along with Kiefer and Saliba, are down in that corner. Picked out freely by Luce, who swings it up for Calderon, and now the puck comes free, 2-on-1. Marody has it, his pass across, Calderon shot, scores! The captain Calderon, a one-time and a quick 2-on-1 opportunity, and Michigan gets the 3-0 lead.
And Alex, that's just like you draw it up in the play. Calderon able to bury it on that cross crease pass. It was a 2-on-1 for the Wolverines, and they're able to successfully convert on another offensive opportunity, something the Spartans have failed to do all night. So it's going to be 3-0 Wolverine lead with 9:46 left in the third period. 23 shots for the Wolverines and 16 for the Spartans.
Well, it would take a heck of an effort for Michigan to blow the lead now, but you can never get complacent, and Michigan State will definitely try to set the tone here in the next couple minutes, and this is where you really stem the tide and squeeze the life out of the Spartans, as it's now 3-0 with under 10 minutes to go, just past the 9:30 mark. A pass now all the way across Michigan State with an opportunity. Tommy Miller's shot was quickly blocked before it's sent down for Brennan Sanford. As pass to the middle, picked up by Miller across to Gatt, and Gatt's shot blocked by Ruse as Pastuov went down for it, but I believe it hit the body of Ruse. Now Pastuov cuts over to the middle, and it goes down along the end boards as they all continue to battle for it. They're in that end, about 9 minutes remaining in period number 3 and the game. Michigan leads 3-0 as the puck comes for Pastuov, who rifles it out to Lockwood. Lockwood plays it back down for Pastuov, who takes it away in the slot, and an opportunity to pass it too far for Hughes, who curls around with it and waits for his men to get a change. Slaker comes out onto the ice as Hughes curls around with it, gives it off to Slaker in a quick one-time shot from a bad angle, and now another try thrown in on net. Michigan continuing to attack. Out to Martin, across to the point. Hughes skates in with it. He's going to wait, and now curl around, stops on a dime, turns, got pushed to the ice, but Michigan continues to control. Hughes gets it back, throws it out in front, and an opportunity. Now Lockwood has it. He's going to rifle it in on net, and it goes just wide of the crease. Hughes backtracks with it. He's going to send it across to Luke Martin. Martin plays it down, looking for Lockwood. Lockwood has it. He waits. He wraps it around. Another try, and they continue to throw it in on net and just can't quite put it in, but a lot of good opportunities now for Michigan. Shots 25-19, and Slaker has it out in front, and now Leatherman goes down to get it, and now we got a little bit of pushing and shoving, but some claps from the Michigan student section. Another good chance for Michigan as we get a TV timeout. 27-16 the shots in favor of Michigan. The score 3-0, 8 minutes to go. Do the Spartans have any hope?
Well, I'm not sure that they have any hope necessarily to come back and win a game, but they have had a few offensive chances. I definitely think it's possible that they could go in and bury one against the Wolverines, but Levine has looked very nice tonight, and the Wolverines have seemed to not be complacent at all. They really kind of, maintain that focus on offense and maintain the energy that they've shown throughout the whole game. So while I don't think there's no hope for the Spartans, I think it's still an uphill battle with the 8 minutes left in the third.
It's definitely going to be an uphill climb, and really, as the minutes begin to wind down here in period number 3, 7:56 remaining in the game, as we get our ice crew to help try to make the playing surface a little bit cleaner as we get set for only one more timeout remaining before the end of this game. And of course, these two teams playing tomorrow, certainly I think you can say that if Michigan State is to get a goal here, that they can kind of carry that confidence into tomorrow's game, where they're going to be defending home ice and try to get a win over their rival. As these two teams playing their last two games of Big Ten play of the 2017 season. And the next time they will face a Big Ten opponent will be in the year 2018. As the draw now between Wimborg, and tough to tell who he was taking it against. It is Kodorenko, in fact, the top line out there for Michigan State. Dug out in the corner. Wimborg is trying to get it free, but about 3 or 4 Spartans there alongside at least 2 or 3 Wolverines. Just kind of a gritty battle in the corner before it's finally taken out by Michigan State. They get it out into the neutral zone and now recollect, skate behind their own net. And they wait. Now pass off the boards, waiting for Lewandowski. Boca takes it. He waits with it. Luce takes it right there and now slings it along the boards out into the neutral zone. We're having to skate back and try to recollect is Ghaffari. His pass, Hiroshi just tapped it a bit to avoid the potential icing call. With about 7 minutes to go, the Go Blue chants raining down here at Yost Ice Arena. Pass a little bit too far for Brendan Warren, but he goes in after it, battling with 2 Michigan State Spartans on the forecheck. Was Warren letting his guys get a quick change as they cycle out onto the top line. Marodi, Calderon, and Danks are out there. Pinching up are the Spartans, and now taken alongside the corner, Smith. And Marodi digs it out, gives it to Danks, and now Danks out just past the center line where he had a poke check laid on him, and now it sends it all the way back down. Michigan State pinches up. Smith has it along the boards, now taken free. Lockwood waits with it, or Marodi rather, and he gives it off to Calderon. Calderon just chips it down into the Michigan State end. Quick pass to Stevens, or Estevez. He has it in a quick little just chop at it. Taken free by the Wolverines. They bring it out the other way. Danks has it. Sort of dangles around the defenseman Miller. And now along the boards. Miller picks it up. Swings it off the boards. And a big hit. Norris went in for a monster check against Lambden and missed. He still got a piece, but he ended up getting the brunt force of the contact as he slammed into the boards. As we are now under 6 minutes to play. Norris digs it out, and here they come the other way. He's got Hughes along with him. He leaves it for Quinn Hughes, just a little bit too far for him. Walled off there by the Michigan State defense. Slaker picks it up, though, and continues to battle alongside his foes. Then it's played off the boards, recollected by the Spartans, and out they come the other way. Hughes has it. He dangles for a split second, gets across the center line. Lockwood has it, and Lockwood's going to line up a big shot, and it's deflected off a stick, up and out of play. Face-off will stay in the Michigan end, 5:22 to play. Shots 27-17 in favor of the Wolverines, and as the minutes keep ticking away, we get closer and closer to a Michigan victory. They just have to focus their effort a little bit longer.
Yep, only 5.5 to go. Wolverines still have shown really no stopping in going after the puck and trying to continue to create more offensive chances. So they're obviously looking to continue the momentum into tomorrow night.
Face-off won by the Spartans technically, but Michigan continues to just jam away at it and try to create another offensive opportunity. Digging it out were the Spartans. Now a pass to the center. Brendan Sanford leaves it for Milan. Sends it along the boards. Luce chases in after it, and he gets pinched. Now the puck comes free, and he's going to turn around and curl. Wait with it. Milan, Sanford, Pastuov, Boca, Luce. They're all just battling, and now the puck comes free. Looked like trying a wraparound opportunity, but didn't have the puck. Michigan State and Michigan both getting wholesale changes. Ghaffari, a nice shot, high and rising into the glove. Old picking cherries there was Levine as he corrals it, lays it down to the ice, and his offense comes the other way. Wimborg's quick shot is blocked, but it comes right back to him as he curls around behind the net. Turns around, stops on a dime, gets wrestled to the side by Ghaffari, and eventually taken away quickly by the Spartans. Hiroshi had it for a quick second, but now taken away by Michigan, and an opportunity for a centering pass. Not close enough, taken away by Michigan State as they continue to dig with it. Hiroshi lays it behind himself for Osborne. Osborne right across the center line, continues to have it. Kodorenko along with him, and now the puck comes out to the center line. Skating backwards, Osborne has it. He waits with it, turns around, fires it back for another chance for Hiroshi to try to get set up as they look to get any kind of offensive rush with 3:44 to go in the game. Michigan continuing to attack at every minute. Now the puck comes free, an opportunity, and a shot by Calderon. And a good save by Letheman.
That was almost a hat trick there for Calderon. He's got 2 goals on the night out of the Wolverines' 3. The run DMC line has absolutely been fantastic tonight. They've generated lots of points for the Wolverines, and it looks like they still want more.
They've carried the offensive scoring all season long, and it's really been a powered top 2 lines, and that's what's done it tonight for the Wolverines. Calderon with 2, Norris with 1. They've carried the load as it's 3-0 Michigan. Shots 28-18 in favor of the Wolverines, and Yeah, as we look back on this game and closing in on a Michigan win, I think that this is probably the most complete effort Michigan has put together all season. I mean, they won a game against Vermont where they scored a bunch. They won a game against Ferris State where they scored 7. But those games all had their sloppy defensive moments and lots of penalties. I mean, they've only taken a couple penalties. They've limited Michigan State to 18 shots, and they've scored 3 of their own, pitching a shutout so far. It's a really impressive performance for Michigan.
Yeah, I think if you take the first 5 minutes of the game out, I think it's almost a perfect game for the Wolverines. They came out maybe a little bit slow, but they quickly regained their confidence and direction and have really played an incredible game where they've focused on dominating the Spartans in almost every aspect of the game.
Yeah, they really have to be happy with the way they've played tonight. There's a draw, 1 back by Michigan State, but now a puck opportunity. It comes right, he scored! Calderon put it in, I think. Let's see. It is going to count it. And with that, it is a hat trick for Tony Calderon, the captain, against the rival. And we are seeing the hats rain down onto the ice. His 3rd goal. He scored the last 3 for Michigan. And on the 29th shot of the evening, he puts it in 4-0 Wolverines as the puck just kind of came free in front of the net. Danks created the opportunity, and then Calderon just put it in.
And it looks like there's almost a field of yellow on the ice. We have lots of maize and white Santa hats from the crowd. It looks like still a few hats making their way over the side of the boards here. Wow, I mean, the fans are really happy with their Wolverines and their run DMC line, which has put them up 4-0 with about 3.5 remaining in the 3rd.
And with that, we have the cleaning crew out there with a shovel to scoop up all the hats. Referee has gone down and picked up a couple of ball caps that were thrown down from the general admission section. Oh, and now a hat just came down and landed on the referee. It looked like a beanie from the stands came down, and quite a few hats. A good showing by the Michigan fans. They were ready.
It looks like there was a smile or two from the referee.
Yeah.
Clearly, a good sport about it. No offense to the referee, Matt.
Always a nice occasion when you can get the hat trick for a guy. And they've now swept all the hats into a pile. But now we're going to have to kind of move them off either into the bench of Michigan State or off the ice past where the Michigan State net is. It's one person down there, and there's too many hats for him to handle. So now the referees have come over and tried to help him pick them up. And now they're going to skate over, looks like into the corner where the Zamboni comes out. And they're going to hand them off to a person there as both teams now coming back out onto the ice. 3:28 to go in period number 3. 4-0 Michigan, and this game is all but over. Wolverines more than likely will go on the season to advance their record to 7-6-2. The Spartans will fall to 7-9-1 overall. 4th line out there. Pashtuov is going to lose the draw to Michigan State as we hear the PA announce the hat trick for Tony Calderon, his 3rd goal of the evening. The senior from Trenton, Michigan, in a game where half of the players on the rosters of these two teams are Michigan natives. A lot of in-state blood. To have an in-state captain get the hat trick is a pretty special occasion for Calderon, as we are officially at the 3-minute mark. Shots 29-18 in favor of Michigan, and once again 28-13 since that opening 5 minutes of play. Really just kind of a dominant effort tonight by Michigan. And after quite a bit of a losing streak, they lost 1 to Minnesota. They lost 2. The one was a tie technically to the Wisconsin Badgers. Then they came here, lost 2 to Ohio State. They've been reeling a little bit, looking to get that regulation win, which they have not had in quite some time. And this is a good way to do it.
Yeah, like you said, Alex, it's been a great collective effort by the team. It seems like they all knew what they wanted to accomplish here, and they've really done their best to do it, and it seems like they have.
Yeah, and now the big question is, can they secure the shutout, which would be their first shutout of the season? with about 2 minutes to play, as it's now in the corner of the defensive zone for Michigan. Trying to dig it out is Lambden, and he is able to. Looking for Saliba to try to pass it. He's ended up going to the point to Ghaffari, and a quick shot deflected off the pad of Levine up and into the netting. A little bit pushing and jawing going on behind the Michigan net as we're under 2 minutes to play, 1:56 to go. Shots 29-19 in favor of the Wolverines.
Yeah, I think the shutout is clearly what the Wolverines, or at least Levine, is really after. He's played a great game in that, and you can see it with the constant effort and focus that he's maintaining right now. Under 2 minutes left, that shutout's really in his sights now, and it's clear the Wolverines are now chasing that.
Yep, and Kodorenko to take the draw. He wins it back to Osborne. Osborne a quick pass across. Ooh, and Ghaffari a shot redirected high and over top the net, but that one was close. And now an opportunity out in front for Lewandowski, but it's taken away by Danks. His pass across to Marodi. Marodi's got an opportunity. He waits with it and gets pushed down from behind by Ghaffari, but a nice little backwards pass to keep it in the zone. But out they come the other way. Lewandowski puts it between the 5-hole of Saccone as it goes down into the corner dugout. And Calderon brings it the other way. The 3-goal man chips it along the boards. And going off for a change are many of his fellow line mates. Danks pursues as him and Calderon will get changes themselves. Saccone also going off. Michigan State exchanging a skater as Ghaffari holds it behind his own net. 1:09 to go in period number 3. Left behind waiting for is Osborne. It's intercepted now by Warren. Warren pinches up. And it's deflected now, taken up by Milan. Milan's pass to the center. Deflects off the boards, looking for Milan. He has it. Redirects, waits. Martin, now it's taken free. A little chance in on net. A shot right out in front. The puck is loose. And it's taken by Kamer. He leaves it to Gat. Gat waits with it. Pass to the center. Milan across to the point. Tommy Miller, his shot goes just a little bit wide. Off the board, Spartans are pressing, trying to get that 1 goal and break the shutout. 30 seconds remaining. And now it looks like a penalty coming to Michigan. They're going to stop the clock with 27 seconds remaining. And the Spartans will have one last chance as going to the box for a tripping call. It looks like, not sure who they called it on.
I'm not quite sure
Unless
either.
they're not calling one. I don't know. The arm went up in the air. Now skating over is Norris. The box is open by just a small amount. It looks like the ref did go over there and
I believe that's Roos.
Yeah, he went over there and said, "Hey, buddy, we got you for a penalty." And Roos leaves. He'll sit in the box for the remainder of the game unless the Spartans are able to convert with 27 seconds left. Saliba and Norris on the draw. 5-on-4 action for Michigan State. Osborne has it. He gives it off to Rosberg, and now the puck comes free and cleared down by Boca as he went down to his knees to hack away at it. 18 seconds remaining, trying to close out the shutout. Played back around 14 seconds. 12. Michigan State holds with it. They sling it across, plays it off the boards. And Osborne a pass to Kiefer. He sends it across to Lambden. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Slent to the middle and an opportunity. Osborne a shot. Quick save, rebound. It goes in, but it does not count. This game is over, and Norris didn't like that shot after the whistle expired. He went after some Michigan State players. A little scrum in the corner as some continued pushing and shoving. Luce is there in the corner. Saliba, Rosberg. Looks like Boca is pushing away too. I mean, it's little extracurricular after the game ends, but the final score is 4-0 Michigan over Michigan State. Well, and once again, just a really, really strong effort tonight by the Wolverines.
Yep, it was an excellent game played by Mel Pearson's Wolverines. They really dominated every aspect of the game, like we've mentioned a few times. Levine was solid in net. Obviously, despite that, I guess I want to call it overtime shot there by the Spartans to kind of rustle some feathers. But it looks like the Wolverines will be able to maintain some of this momentum, hopefully, heading to East Lansing for tomorrow's game against the Spartans. The Spartans obviously look to rebound after only putting up 21 shots and 0 goals. So 4-0 for the Wolverines. Alex, was there anything you thought that the Wolverines did excellent that allowed them to really secure this win.
I was most impressed with the defensive effort because they've been a very high-scoring team this year. They've never had problems scoring, but they've just at times had sloppy turnovers and too many penalties and just all kinds of defensive mistakes, but there was really none of that tonight. If Michigan State got a rush, they converged well and took it away, and just a great effort by Michigan all around. A dominant performance as the handshake line finishes up, and ooh, it looks like Osborne was jawing with someone. He had to be separated and taken to the locker room. As the Wolverines surround the center ice, they tap their sticks 3 times and salute the student section as Hail to the Victors plays. And with that, the home schedule of the Yost Ice Arena Fall for 2017 is complete. The next game here at Yost will be in 2018. So for all of our listeners here on our YouTube channel, WCBN Sports, we thank you for listening. We will have plenty of other action. UCLA basketball against Michigan on Saturday. But for this hockey crew, we will not see you again till the new year. So we're wishing you a happy new year here on WCBN Sports. From Ian Lemersall, Alex Shee, Peter Monahan, I'm Alex Drain saying so long, good night, and go blue.